And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over the mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, shout out to YouTube for getting me a little bit off kilter by messing with the stream. It was weird. I couldn't stream right away, but whatever. I blame the white man for that. But we got quite a few topics on deck for tonight. Armed IRS agents coming to your door. What's going on with that? Why would an armed IRS agent show up at your crib? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, shout out to Minneapolis and their teachers union saying, hey, you know what? Let's fire the white teachers first. If we need to do layoffs rather than firing the person of color, we're going to protect them and fire the whites first. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. Also, Texas CPS recommends the unthinkable to a teenage girl as far as how to make money. And a dog caught monkeypox from an LGBT male couple. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoyed what you are hearing thus far, if you enjoyed the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Also, this is a podcast you're listening to being recorded live. You can hear this after the show is over with on your favorite audio streaming platform for free, whether it be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Links for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. If you're listening to me right now over there on one of these audio streaming platforms, please give me a 5-star rating or review, whatever you can. I most certainly appreciate it. Shout out to the sponsors, of course. As always, y'all know how I operate. Shout out to Uncle Tom Part 2 coming out next Friday, August 26, 2022 on uncletom.com. If you're living in the Dallas area or you're able to venture out to Dallas, I will be in Dallas August 26th. That's next Friday, right? Just coming up here. August 26th, 7:30 p.m. at Angelica Theater for the premiere. I'll be there. Brandon Tatum, Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. Did I say that right? I didn't want to say the wrong thing. Alan West, Chad Jackson, who's like the main character, I guess you would say, in the movie. Who else? We have Ben Carson, Jesse Lee Peterson, Dr. Carol Swain. The list goes on. Vadi Balcham. We have a star-studded cast in the movie and who's going to be there coming up next Friday, August 26th in Dallas, Texas. Again, that's going to be at the Angelica Theater, 7:30 p.m. for the premiere. It's going to be star-studded. Tickets are available. Go to uncletom.com. Get tickets. Go to Uncle Tom's Instagram page. Get tickets. And if you're able to be there in Dallas, Texas, I love to meet with you. You're going to be able to see me. Obviously, I'm a pretty big guy. You see this, what I got going on here, this great stuff going on. So you'll be able to spot me. Run up on me, get a picture. Run up on everybody else, get a picture, and just have a good time. So that's coming out. And also, if you're going to pre-order Uncle Tom Part 2, get 30% off by using promo code ABL until it goes live, which is, again, next Friday, August 26th. So the code is good for a few more days, about 10 more days or so. But go ahead and check that link in the description. Get 30% off right now. Use promo code ABL and have that be that. If you want to see the very first Uncle Tom for free, it's available on their YouTube page. Just search Uncle Tom Movie. It should come up. So check the first one out if you've not seen it already. Then check the second one out to get more information. So that'd be that right there. So, okay, Pickle Grammar says you haven't seen the first one yet. Yeah, if you're not seen the first one yet, go watch it for free right now on Uncle Tom YouTube page. And if you can't find the page, easiest way to get there is uncletom.com. So that's that. Now, we also have my particular websites to shout out. We have ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more all on the website. Check it out right now, ablmerch.com. Also, go to my website, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. For every single video that I produce, I have a list of sources in an article that I write. So nobody can never say, hey man, you said something that was incorrect. Where's your source? I don't believe you. Okay, go to the website and find it. I challenge everyone. I can always say, I challenge all you guys to please fact check me. If I ever say anything wrong or you disagree, or you think it's incorrect, fact check me and set me straight. And if you want to see my sources, go to my website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also, go to AnthonyBLogan.com/contact to get all my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that's on there. So if you ever have a question about, hey, ABL, is this you? I'm getting messages right now on Instagram about Forex, and they're trying to sell me a timeshare in the Cayman Islands, and they're trying to sell me a bridge in Brooklyn. Is this you? If you ever have that question, please go to my contact page on my website to see if what you're looking at, their particular profile, if it matches whatever I have on my website. And if it doesn't, it's probably not me. And I'll give you a quick hint. For anyone that may read some comments, you think it's me or whatever, or you get a DM from someone pretending to be me or that you think might be me, I will never hit you up on social media talking about a way to make money, business opportunity, Forex, Bitcoin. I will never do that. That's just not what I'm into. That's not my particular lane at all. So if anyone looks like me, appears to be me, or represents me talking about that stuff, I can guarantee you 1,000% that it's a scam, and please don't fall for it. Do not give them your personal information, your name, your phone number, where you live. Please don't do it. Okay. Now, some may say, hey, ABO, you kind of just being redundant. I have to say this because not everyone is very tech savvy. Sometimes you could kind of just get caught off guard and you're not really knowing who you're talking to, but I would never do anything like that. So let's move on from there, and shout out to my other sponsors. We have bhedesigns.com. They make the beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. You can get ones just like that or whatever you desire for yourself over on the website, bhedesigns.com. Links in the description. And also go to patriotpost.us. They are your best source of news and information anywhere on the internet. And all my links will be in the description, or just go to the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. You can find everything right there. One-stop shop. Now, where do we start with the topics for tonight? And before I begin, thank y'all again for joining. I couldn't do it without you. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. But where do I begin? What's going to be my first thing that I get into? Let's try this. Wow. It's kind of heavy, some heavy topics. I don't even know. Let's talk about the armed IRS agents, shall we? That's probably a good way to kick it off, because I am gonna kick it off with Minneapolis and the white teachers and Texas CPS. It gets a little heavy. So armed IRS agents. Now, I understand for you guys that are trying to already, just set me straight. I understand that the IRS does have an armed division. This is called the IRS CID. That's Criminal Investigation Division. And these guys should handle pretty heavy stuff. Okay, if you're trafficking money, or if you're laundering money for the mafia or something crazy like that. But I have just a quick question. I understand that the IRS CID are reserved for more serious situations, like criminal investigations, like real things that you would go to the penitentiary, the federal penitentiary for. I understand that's what they're there for, but we have the FBI, right? I mean, so would the FBI not handle that? But it's weird, because I think the IRS CID is similar to the FBI, I suppose, because they're a federal agency and they handle pretty big crimes, and you can get put in federal custody by way of the IRS CID. But I think one thing that they don't have in common is the fact that IRS CRD a lot of times are accountants and CPAs. So you got the pocket protector cat, brainiac, nerdy, whatever you want to call him. You have that guy, the math wizard, now packing the pistol, ready to shoot you if you run afoul of the law. That's kind of what's happening here from my point of view. And maybe You guys that know more than I do, who are more educated than I am about the particular topic, maybe I'm incorrect, but that's kind of what I see. A lot of these guys are accountants. They have understanding of criminal law when it comes to finance, and they may need to investigate. So if you could be dangerous some kind of way, you have a serious financial crime, they might need to go ahead and pull their pistol on you and do something to you. Exactly, Roger Wood, FBI, U.S. Marshals. Wouldn't they handle some of the more serious criminal allegations? But I guess not. So you have the IRS CID. That's what they do. Rosie Peach says, armed pencil pushers. Exactly. 100%. Burberry 86 says, the IRS owes me $8,000. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on how much money they owe me and how long they owed it. I don't even want to go down that road because then I'm going to just rant about a personal thing. But I'm gonna just talk about it right quick because I got to say it now. You didn't spark the rage inside of me got sparked like that. So here's what happened. In 2018, I paid taxes, right? And I guess I paid too much. So now, because I'm paying quarterly. So I paid quarterly, and the way it works, or the way it's supposed to work is when you pay quarterly. So let's just say for 2018, I paid quarterly. And 2019, I filed taxes before April 2019 for 2018. So when I filed my taxes, I paid too much. Now they owe me a certain amount of money. Is it $5,000, $10,000, $20,000? I don't even. That's a different story. It's a lot of money, probably 5 figures. So they owe me the money because I already didn't paid it as far as my quarterly. I'm getting letters talking about, oh, you didn't pay your quarterly taxes. Now, mind you, they didn't already cash the checks. The IRS are pretty funny. They're a funny bunch because, or excuse me, the Treasury is a funny bunch because they'll cash your checks. You send them some money, oh, they'll cash it. But did they get it? I don't know, man. Hey, who knows? I don't know if we got it, but you cashed it. Yeah, we cashed it, but I don't know if we got it. Make that make sense. You got to put all kind of marks and directions on your check. Okay, this is for 2018 1040 EZ. Here's my social security number. Here's my address. Here's my date of birth. Here's my fingerprint. Here's my mugshot. Here's my firstborn child. Here's everything on the check image. Okay. Oh man, I done wrote letters. Like I researched how to write a letter. I had bank statements, check images. I had everything. And years later, 2022, I'm still owed money from 2018 that they say that I actually owe. They were trying to get me charged or they were trying to charge me interest on back taxes when I already done paid it 4 years ago. So yeah, that's my little rant. And I know I got in the rabbit hole, but it was in my chest. It had to come out. It was like Alien, like the chest burster. It was like that. You understand what I'm saying? It just came straight out of my chest, like that. That's what happened. Anyway, so they have the IRS CID. Now, there's a training video that was released, and I don't know if the video is recent or not. I can't really tell. I mean, with the way things are nowadays, it could be any particular point in history, or it could have come out yesterday. I think it's recent because I'm seeing some pictures that came from that as well. So it wasn't just, this one video. But if you have not seen this video, you got to check it out. And some people say that, oh, it's fake and these are just students. They want to go see what it's like to be an IRS agent. I don't know about that. I think that they wouldn't be putting on IRS CID vests to say police on it. I think that's not really what's going on. But so here's a training video of IRS CID, that's Criminal Investigation Division agents who are armed. They're training to run up on you. And you have to not only see the video, but hear what's being said because the sound makes it even crazier. So let's check it out here. Can we get some sound? Make sure everything's good with that. Give me 1 second just to make sure we're all on the same page. All right. And let's check this out right here. Hold on. There we go. So as you can see, it's very diverse. A lot of women, a lot of people of color, lot of all of that right here in the video. Very, very diverse. They have on these vests that say IRS, CID, and police. The man right here is in the wheelchair. Now, I don't understand this at all because nothing against anybody that is disabled or what they say differently abled. But what are you going to do in the wheelchair if you're armed? I can understand if you work in the office and you're not going to be out there in the field trying to shoot somebody. But I mean, what you going to do in the wheelchair? Like, you can't really move around like that. That's kind of dangerous for you to be in a situation. Like, I've never seen a police officer in the wheelchair. Like, how you going to be on a high-speed chase and then get out and then pursue the suspect? Again, nothing against anybody that has a disability. I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense. Just like my man Paul Blart, you're about to see in a minute, doesn't make any sense either. Are you going to chase the suspect or chase the ice cream truck when you hear the sound of the music go off? Hey, Wild Bill, you're hilarious. Wild Bill says, wheelchair guy is a decoy. That's hilarious.
All right, so we'll take it along the wall.
Oh, that's a good one right there. Tester Tip says, this reminds me of when TSA became a thing. That's something else right there. TSA, man, please stop touching my Johnson. How about that? Let's not do that anymore. Let's respect everyone's private space. Okay.
And line up on the wall. Okay.
Do you see this man right here? Do you see Paul Blart, Mall Cop? Do you see my man? What was that movie? Remember the Titans? Big boy from that movie. Do you see this guy? Do you see young Chris Farley right here? I mean, come on, man. Again, if you are big like that, I understand. Whatever you're going through, I'm not here to judge you. But let's talk about things that make sense. You're a new recruit and you got that going on with yourself. That's not really going to work out too well. I can understand if you've been there for 20 years and you've been eating donuts every day for the past 20 years, but you're a brand new recruit already at maximum donut height and weight. That's not the wave.
All right, there's good. You can do your line up there. Whoever's going first. All right, you guys got everybody here? All right, you all ready? Guns out.
So they're practicing right here. It appears to be some kind of hotel, some kind of conference center. Now that they're practicing busting into your door or to a business door. Okay.
All right, whenever you guys are ready, you can go. You good? Yep, you're good. Remember, identify yourself.
Please, federal agent.
Freeze. Put your hands up.
Put your hands up.
Got an arrest for you.
Where's that hands up? Sir, put your hands up and stop moving.
What are you looking for?
Do you have any weapons on you, sir?
What are you looking for?
Look for Ashley Campbell.
Where's that?
No, sir. Stay put. That is not Ashley Campbell.
Oh, amen.
Do you have any weapons? Do you have any weapons?
Do you see this? I mean, come on. Like, this is kind of crazy. They shouldn't even be out here doing this. I mean, again, the purpose of the IRS CID is to go after really big and bad guys. If you got an identity theft ring or something like that going on, but again, you could bring out the federales like the FBI, U.S. Marshals, people that are more trained for this. Why you got to bring out the accountants and give them guns? And here's my other thing. They've been around for a long time. This is not a new agency. However, we heard that they're going to hire 87,000 new IRS agents. How many of that 87,000 are going to be the ones that have the guns? How many of the 87,000 are going to be part of the IRS CID? That's the $1 million question we got to ask ourselves, right?
I'm not saying nothing.
Sir, do you have any weapons on you?
I don't even know. Take control.
Now, did you hear what he said? Let's rewind that. My man right here with the jacket with the leather elbow patches. Let's rewind and hear what he said as part of the training video.
Look for Ashley Campbell.
Where's that?
No, sir. Stay put. That is not Ashley Campbell.
Oh, amen.
Do you have any weapons? Do you have any weapons?
I'm not saying nothing.
I'm not paying nothing. Imagine that you got guns drawn on you because you owe some money. Like literally, you could die over owing some money. apparently, based upon what he said in this quote unquote training video, it does appear to be a robbery. That's exactly what it is. And one would kind of gather that when you have the IRS with guns trained on you, you would kind of gather that. It's like, I'm being robbed right now. Maybe you are. Just maybe.
Sir, do you have any weapons on you?
I don't even know who you guys are. I'm not saying anything.
Sir, I'm an IRS special agent. I have any weapons on you.
I'm not saying anything.
All right, please
You
get
do what you
on.
gotta do. I'm not saying
Turn
anything.
around.
Hands up. Did you have any
Hands
weapons?
up.
I have a gun. Yeah, I have a permit. It's
Slowly
legal.
behind your back.
Can we take your weapon, please?
Well, if you're going to ask me, I don't know. I'm going to say no.
All
Spread
right.
your legs.
Getting arrested?
Do you have any other weapons on you?
Hands behind
No.
your back.
I mean, you know what? The thing about this right here, I'm going to say this right here. Like, the people look pretty nerdy. They look like your typical pistol pushers, math nerds. Not wrong with that. It's okay. I love nerds. Without nerds, we wouldn't be here right now today. Okay. Shout out to the nerds. I'm a nerd too. Okay. Nerd power. Anyway, they appear to be pretty nerdy, and you could kind of make fun of them for doing that. But people that aren't really professional, like, how can I say, people that aren't really hard edged like that will be the first ones to shoot you. Oh yeah, these are definitely plastic guns. It's a training exercise. They're not real guns. But they'll be the first ones to shoot you because they're going to get scared or to make a mistake. That trigger, a hairy trigger finger, they'll be the first ones to shoot you. So that's actually more nerve-wracking than the chiseled jaw guy that are coming there ready to, secure the location.
Please put your hands behind your back. Can you lean forward?
Do you hear that voice in the background? Please still. If I heard that voice, man, I'm not really, that's not, to some of these hardened criminals, they're not really going to even recognize that voice. It's like a deer whistle. You can't even hear it unless you're a deer. That it won't even really register to some of these hardened criminals. It's like, what was that? Was that somebody talking? I didn't even hear that.
Hands on the camera. Raise your hand. You're under arrest. What? You're under arrest for conspiracy.
Conspiracy to do what? Conspiracy to not pay taxes? Conspiracy to not report my $601 I got from my Meemaw on Venmo? Conspiracy to what though?
Can you please turn around? Bend over.
Hands up. You got no right.
Now, some may take what I'm saying as being anti-police. Please don't misunderstand me. This is the federal government. Like me, I'm a guy that is all about smaller government. I'm not an anarchist. I'm for smaller government. When you have the federalists with so many organizations do the exact same thing, bloated budgets, and all they do is just kind of, they're used as political weapons against us. Excuse me. They're used as fundraising methods. They didn't print it and spent so much money. Now they got to recoup, meaning the federal government. You got all this stuff with the stimmies. Now they're going to have another stimmy, basically in the form of the $700 billion inflation reduction. How are you going to reduce inflation with more money printing when the very thing that created the inflation was money printing? How does it make any sense? It's like trying to reduce flooding by adding more water. How does it make any sense? You need to reduce the water, remove the water, and you don't fix inflation with adding to the money supply when the money supply being just flooded with money was a problem to begin with. It's so silly.
Serious.
So yeah, that's it. That's the IRS CID. Apparently a training video, some kind of exercise video. These are fake weapons. Obviously, it's not really like they are robbing somebody. This is like just for practice, I suppose. But yeah, 87,000 new IRS agents. How many of them are going to be these guys right here that might run in your crib and say, "Hey man, you owe X amount of money on your taxes. You failed to mention your waitressing tips from 1997." That's kind of what I'm thinking. And again, they're going to say, "Oh man, it's only for the big fish. It's not really for you." But they always say that. They say the same thing about the tax audits. "Oh, it's only for the big guys, not for you." But in reality, we know that most tax audits happen to people that don't make a lot of money, to those who are not millionaires, to those who are not six-figure earners. Most IRS audits happen to guys making $35,000, $50,000 because it's easier to get $1,000 one of them and have that happen a lot than to attack one big fish and get any money from them. If you're Elon Musk and you owe taxes, you could stay here in the U.S. and pay a bunch of tax money. You could do that. And they depend on that to spend a bunch of money on nothing. And that's something else I want to talk about just briefly. They want all this money from taxes, but what are they spending it on? That's my question. What do they spend tax money on? Nothing. Okay, they want to give all this money to Ukraine. How many billions have we given? How much of our money, our hard-earned tax money, have we given to Ukraine? I wish we could just take all that Ukraine money back and put it into our own pockets. How about that? Every other day, they're talking about, oh, we're giving $1 billion to Ukraine, $20 billion to Ukraine, $800 million to Ukraine. For what? And we do a bunch of little pet projects. They're trying to reduce carbon emission. For what reason, I don't know. They're trying to take away your V8s. I saw that. Now, I saw that whole V8 thing coming. I knew that was going to happen. They're going to stop Dodge Challenger and Dodge Charger production like this year. So I think the cars that are out there, the Challenger and the Charger, will be the last ones. Why? Because they can't, because they're V8s. You know, gas guzzlers, they're trying to get rid of the gas guzzlers. My Tundra was the last V8 Toyota Tundra, if I'm not mistaken. I think now they have V6 turbocharged. Nah, I want a V8. Yes, I want 8 miles to the gallon on the highway. So what? That's my prerogative. That's my right. Yeah, gas costs a lot of money, but that's not my fault for buying a V8. It's the fault of the current administration for making the gas prices be high. Biden would say, hey, man, we don't control the gas prices. We know they're high, but it's not our fault. We don't control them. But then when the gas prices get reduced, oh, yeah, we control that. We did that. We did it all by ourselves. How are you going to take credit for the good part of the gas prices, but not take the blame for the bad part of the gas prices when both things happened under your administration? I could see if the gas was already high when you came into office. If gas was $5 a gallon when Trump was here and then Biden came in here and reduced it, that'd be one thing. But gas was like $2 when Biden came in, went to $5, $6, $7, $8, and is now back to $5, $6, $5, $4. So how do you take credit for that? And you've not gotten it back down to where it was before. Like there was a meme I saw where Biden raised the price 100%, cut prices after that 13%, and then he takes credit. It's like, yeah, but I'm still 77% higher than it was before. So we've not been able to solve the problem. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. So this is the last year that Dodge will produce the V8 engine. So if the Challenger and Charger are V8, then if they make them, it won't be the same car that they are right now. It'll kind of kill the whole purpose of having the muscle car. Like I want a sedan that has V8. Matter of fact, I want a coupe with V8. That's what I want. Why can't I have that? If the politicos can have private planes, jets that go all over the world, then why can't I have a V8 car? You understand what I mean? Like they get to fly in their private jets all over the place. And these private jets burn a crazy amount of fuel. I'm talking the gas for that. Try filling that up with gas. Try going to the Quick Trip and filling a private plane up with gas. You take all the gas in the whole gas station. You would take all the gas in the whole gas station. Them things burn a crazy amount of fuel. But they can have those as toys, fly around the world. Them yachts especially. Yachts take a lot of fuel. The planes take a lot of fuel. The private planes, the jets. What else? Their big estates, their mansions. Imagine how much it costs to heat and cool a mansion that's like 40,000 square feet. You know, you got a regular house, it's 2,000 square feet, 3,000 square feet, and they are killing you when it comes to the electric bill because they want to go to green energy, but they can afford higher gas, higher electric on their estate, and that's going to be through the roof. You're talking about 10 grand just to power it. just to heat it and cool it, 5-10 grand a month. Then the landscaping, how much are you spending? How much energy is being expended when you're talking about the landscaping? If you got, even if you have electric tools, which you probably don't, you probably got a gas riding mower, all of that stuff. It's a lot of money, a lot of energy, but that's fine because they're the elites. They know what's best for us. They can use all the energy in the world. But you, on the other hand, hey, man, take this windmill that won't biodegrade. It'd be a big hunk of junk in a very short period of time. Take that windmill that took a bunch of a fossil fuel to create to begin with. Take that. Here's a solar panel right here. It took a lot of fossil fuels and plastics and rare earth minerals. A lot of African kids that's 5 years old mining all day and all night, getting their limbs chopped off. It takes all that to create that, but you're being green. You're being great. Versus just digging in the ground and getting some coal and some oil. I mean, it's so simple, but I guess simplicity is a thing of the past, I suppose. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That's right. What's that? Gigi? I know I said that wrong, and I'm sorry. Says EVs are not green, but put green into elites' pockets. That's correct. That is right. Your Al Gores of the world, they made a whole living off of doing stuff like this. This is what they do. That's what they do. All right. Oh yeah, and that's right, Hex Fetty. If you got a windmill, it takes a lot to maintain them. Okay, a lot of money, a lot of maintenance. Absolutely. Oh, and the batteries for EVs. Oh, something else about electric vehicles. I saw it might have been in Atlanta. It was somewhere. I saw a sign that says that certain types of EVs cannot be parked in the garage because there's a high risk of the batteries combusting into flames. You can't park this EV in the garage because of a fire hazard. So if you have that same EV in your house, what's going to happen, or what could happen? You know, in your garage, in the middle of the night, your battery is charging. All of a sudden, it blows up. Now your house can burn down because you're trying to go green. I mean, it's crazy. Like, the technology is so new. It's so recent. It's not safe yet. It's the same thing with the vaccine, right? Oh, and the CDC, you know what? I feel vindicated. I'm going to take right now and take a bow. Because I was right. We all were right from the very beginning when it came to the CDC, the scamdemic. You see, I got my hat. I'm still wearing it. The plandemic. We were all right about the plandemic, scamdemic, the virus, the vax. We had all that stuff right. Yes, we did. What did we say? Hey, man, it's too early to come out with this vaccine and just be like, oh, it's going to work and everything is fine. It's too soon for that. Didn't we say that? Didn't we say, hey, man, I'm going to be pure blood. I'm not taking that. Now, some of you guys may be taking the vaccine for your own personal reasons, and I'm not judging you. I'm not here to attack you if you did that, okay? Like, don't get misunderstood. But we were right, and we were called all types of names. Instagram, they had shadow banned me. Not shadow banned me, pardon me. Well, yeah, they did kind of shadow ban me, but what they did that I was able to see for sure was you could not mention my name. You couldn't mention me. Like, if you try to tag me in the post, you couldn't tag me. But I found out recently that now you can tag me. I wonder why. Is it because the CDC came out and said that I was right? Is it because we know that all this stuff that they tried to do was bogus for the past 2 years? I mean, is it because of that? Then they got a new variant, and they say the variant is a common cold, basically. Didn't we say that 2 years ago? Everything that we said about this thing is right. So when you talk about science and trusted science and believe in the scientists, are they really that educated? Do they really know all of that? Like, they know some things, of course. I'm not going to sit here and say that a scientist is a fool necessarily. But at a certain point, who are we believing? And why aren't we believing certain people but not others? Because there were some scientists, not actually some, there were quite a few scientists, doctors, medical professionals, etc., who came out and said that we were right. Your Simone Gold and all these people, they came out and said we were right, but they were silenced. They were shamed. They were vilified. They were just treated like they were hacks. Like, it was crazy. We're going back in time. We're kind of regressing back in a day where if you said something that was unpopular to the quote unquote majority, meaning the majority in power, those that run things, if you said something that was unpopular, they didn't just take time to research it and see if it was correct or take your words into consideration. The majority elite opinion is going to be the majority elite opinion. It doesn't matter what you say. So when we all say the earth is flat and the sun revolves around us, we got to believe that, because we all in this room, the elites, we believe it. So if you say, hey man, the earth is round and revolves around the sun, the same as all the other planets, we can't have that, man. You got to die. You got to go ahead and die, man, because you're in the way. That's kind of where we are right now. It goes to show it doesn't matter how much things change. They remain the same. They remain the exact same. Hold on. I'm going to try to find this thing here. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm going to play a video for you guys. Hold on. All right. This is on CBS News. Shout out to Rochelle Walensky. CDC director. She has been trying to tell us the truth for a little while, in my opinion. Anthony Fauci, not so much. Anthony Fauci would say whatever he's ordered to say. And that's not very scientific. That's not very doctor-like. That's somebody that's being controlled like a puppet, just like your man Joe Biden, all right? I'll talk about him in a minute. I got videos and whatnot that I'll play of your man Creepy Sleepy Joe. Hold on one second here. Let's got to sound down a little bit. I'm going to bust your eardrums out.
Be going through a reorganization following the CDC will be going through a reorganization following criticism over the agency's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and other public health threats. CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook is here with me, and he spoke exclusively with CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky about the changes.
Today's report uncovered deep concerns over the CDC's culture and day-to-day practices. Among the complaints, a rigid, compartmentalized bureaucracy that restricted the agency's overall response to the pandemic.
Let's run that back one more time, because that was very, very well stated. Very well stated. Hold on.
Its analysis of data to the complaints, culture, and day-to-day practices. Among the complaints, a rigid, compartmentalized bureaucracy that restricted the agency's overall response to the pandemic.
A rigid, compartmentalized bureaucracy. Rigid, compartmentalized bureaucracy. Exactly. That is the federal government in a nutshell. That's part of the reason why I despise big government, federal government. We need to have, the government should be so small. You don't know who's in office, who does. They got to be in the background. The background, not like on your TV every single day talking to you or talking at you.
From its analysis of data to the sluggish release of information to the public to its confusing and overwhelming COVID guidance.
Was the agency up to the task of handling this pandemic?
I think our public health infrastructure in the country was not up to the task of handling this pandemic.
CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky commissioned the report in April.
We learned some hard lessons over the last 3 years, and as part of that, it's my responsibility, it's the agency's responsibility to learn from those lessons and do better.
You know what? I kind of don't want to hear an apology because, okay, let me get it together. I don't want to hear her say, I'm sorry, and have that be the end of it. What I want is for them to admit that they're incompetent, to admit that whatever they said meant nothing, to admit that maybe people that were not in that rigid, compartmentalized bureaucracy, we knew something they didn't know. They should have heard our voices. And from here on out, we're not going to trust them. We're going to trust other people. We're going to hear other sides to the story. We're going to hear different voices. And from those voices, you'll figure out what makes sense for us. If you got a family and they're talking about a vaccine, you can hear from Dr. Fauci what he has to say. You can hear from Rochelle Walensky what she got to say. You can also hear from others in the medical industry, professionals, and hear what they say. Make your own mind up rather than being forced to get a vaccine or get fired from your job because Anthony Fauci said so, because the CDC said so. That's the problem. It's too late now. People already lost their people lives have been ruined behind this. I'm talking about ruined beyond repair. People done left it done broke up families, they done broke up lives, they done killed careers, all of that because of their incompetence. I want to hear that. An apology, oops, I don't want to hear it.
The new findings are likely to spark a major shakeup of the CDC's sprawling bureaucracy. Among the plans, get information to the public more rapidly, create a new office to promote equity in healthcare, and develop a more nimble workforce that can quickly respond to public health crises.
Nah, that ain't gonna do it. That ain't gonna do it. Sorry. That right there is irrelevant. All I really want to hear is that they were incompetent, and trying to shake things up and do different things will not solve the incompetence. They're still going to be who they are, regardless of what.
We need to have a special forces, if you will, to deploy during pandemic times.
Do you think they're up to the task of now changing their whole culture and thinking of themselves more like special forces that can be deployed wherever they're needed?
I have no doubt that they're up to the task.
The report comes with a new sense of urgency as the CDC moves from managing the pandemic to dealing with the latest public health crisis, monkeypox.
Oh, my
Is it fair
God.
to say we're not quite there yet in terms of monkeypox?
I think it's too early to say that we have our arms around it. I believe that we can work to contain this outbreak, and we're doing a lot of that hard work.
Dr. Walensky told me the CDC has to up its game when it comes to making the agency's workforce more nimble, improving capabilities in the lab, and becoming better at gathering and reporting data.
You see, they're already behind the 8 ball on this because monkeypox, they're not saying who's actually getting it, who's transmitting it at a rate of 98%. 98% of those who have this particular thing are gay men. Gay men who have multiple sex partners. That's what the actual data say. That's the data that we have on deck. It says that. Okay, that's just what it is. I'm not homophobic. I don't care what you do with yourself. If you're an adult, whatever you do with yourself, that's your business, man. If you like to get slapped in the face by a lady wearing leather, that's your business, man. Don't tell me about it. I'm not really into your life. I don't care what you do if you're an adult and you consent with somebody else. Another adult, keyword there. I'll talk about that part in a minute. I don't really care, but the data is a data. Can we just talk about that part or no? They're already behind the 8 ball on that because when they come out on TV talking about monkeypox, they speak about it like it's a thing that affects everyone when it doesn't. It just doesn't. HIV/AIDS, same way. If you, what is it, like 85% of those who have HIV are LGBT? 85% still right now to this day? And the remaining 15% or a little bit less are IV drug users. If you're shooting up heroin and you're sharing a needle with somebody, you could spread HIV like that. Now you have some people that are heterosexual and have HIV, but it's rare. But you know what's even more rare to catch if you're heterosexual? Monkeypox. Now, somebody, because I did the video about the dog. I'm gonna go ahead and just get into it right now. So a dog over in Paris caught monkeypox from their owners. Now their owners are a 44 and 27-year-old male. It's 2 men in a relationship and they're non-monogamous. What does that mean, ABL? Well, they have multiple sex partners outside of their relationship. You know, that's what's going on. Multiple men. So what are the main things? Like if we go back to New York City, and again, I'm gonna go back to just information. I'm not gonna say anything that can't be proven. So I don't want nobody trying to say, hey, ABL, you making up stuff. You said something that wasn't right. I bet you I did say something that was right. I challenge you to prove me incorrect. Let me go back to the particular website. The New York City Department of Health website where they talk about monkeypox. Okay. NYC.gov, official website. Let's talk about it. The dog, we'll get to the dog in a minute, but let's go to monkeypox and see who's eligible to get the vaccine, because there is a vaccine for monkeypox, but it's only available if you meet certain criteria in New York City, at least. I'm not quite sure about the rest of the country, but in NYC, you must meet certain criteria. So here it is, monkeypox. Look, NYC Health, right? You see where I'm at, NYC Health, monkeypox, orthopox virus. Now, they're talking about testing, second dosage, vaccination appointments, transmission, prevention. Hold on. Let's not see the monkeypox. See, vaccination eligibility. Let's read this part right here. Okay? Let's just read it. Like, I'm not going to say anything that's not verifiable. I'm reading right here on the website. Can you guys see? Okay. Eligibility for monkeypox vaccination may change as the outbreak evolves and based on vaccine supply. People who meet all of the following conditions can now be vaccinated. And there's 3 bullet points. All right. The first one, gay, bisexual, or other man who has sex with men and or transgender, gender nonconforming, or gender non-binary. 18 or older, because you can't be underage, dabbing with men. 18 or older. And then the third one, have had multiple or anonymous sex partners in the last 14 days. So where in that does it say heterosexual, normie, monogamous relationship, y'all two married, man and wife, husband and wife? It says it right here. I'm reading it on New York City's. Look, I'm right here on the website. Go to nyc.gov and go to the monkeypox section. It's right here. Look, check it out. I'm right here. So what are we talking about? So when a dog catches monkeypox, you got to ask what happened. We know that he got it from the gay male couple, but how? And I have more questions, because all they say, as far as an official, I guess you would say, response, all they say is that the dog may have licked one or both of the owners and licked itself afterward. That's all they say. But if that's the case, can this dog transmit monkeypox to another dog or to other humans? Can you have dog to human monkeypox transmission? Can dogs get vaccinated for this thing? Is it a disease that affects other animals? Because I've heard about another dog that got monkeypox from a man that he was in the house with. I've heard about that, but I've not heard about a cat getting it, a gerbil, a bearded dragon, a pet fish, a frog, a toad, a pet monkey, a pet rat, a cat. Like, I've not heard about any other animal, a ferret. I've not heard about any other domesticated animal getting this particular thing except for dogs with men. So I'm trying to figure out how it happened. I'm just asking questions. Now, am I suggesting anything? Nah, because I don't know, but I am curious. Isn't it a good question to ask? So now, it's something I want to say. If the dog goes to the dog park and you're out there with your dog and your dog's playing around with that dog, can they catch it and then bring it to you? If that's the case, then why is it not any kind of advisory talking about dog parks, other animals, being in contact with somebody that has it, being in the same room with somebody that has it? Obviously, you got to have more interaction than just a passing, like being on the subway or something like that, right? There's got to be more to it than that. You got to be kind of sharing some intimate items. They said that to prevent it. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me go back. Because I heard that said that to prevent monkeypox, you want to prevent from sharing items like fetish gear. And I'll leave that there. I'm not going to get into what fetish gear is. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. And I advise you don't go look it up, because you're going to regret Googling that. I promise. So please don't do it. But let me see. Oh, and something else that they don't talk about is that if you have HIV already, which a lot of gay males have, it aggravates it. Syphilis as well, which a lot of gay males have. There was a picture of a guy, and I won't show that picture because it was way too gross. It looks like it might have been fake, but it was a real picture. The guy, his nose was rotting. He had the pox on his face, and his nose was rotted. That's the best way I can describe it. It was terrible. He was white, but his nose was black and like gray, like a heather, like a dark heather gray, and it was peeling up. I described way too much. If you're eating food, I'm sorry. I apologize. Blended white man is not my fault. But yeah, it was gross. Now, monkeypox was right there on his face, but he also had HIV and syphilis. So, I mean, it's going to make it worse, right? Somebody's going to say, man, you can live with HIV. It's all good. Well, when you have HIV and you got syphilis and you get monkeypox, all of that at the same time is going to mess you up. So that's probably what makes the whole thing worse, is people that have this particular bug and other bugs too. Right? Did you see it? Red Fury? Yeah. Don't Google this stuff. If you Google it, just be warned. Okay? If you want to just ignore my advisory and Google it anyway, you've been warned. And if you come across something that's crazy, don't say I didn't warn you. I promise. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right, but that picture was crazy. You can find it on Ian Mouch Young's page, I believe, or it might be on who was that on? Andy No had on his page. Yeah. So hold on, let me see if I can find the preventative measures. All right. Matter of fact, I have. Hold on. Oh, here we go. There's more. So, prevention. Reduce the number of sex partners, especially those you don't know or whose recent sexual history you don't know. Ask your partners if they have monkeypox symptoms or feel sick. So, okay, you have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways to prevent it. And let's count how many of them involve sex. Okay. The first one, yep. Second one, yep. Third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one. They all involve sex. All of them. But I'm told that's not an STD. I can't tell. Because all of these right here as ways to prevent it says sex are involved in them. All of them. Fetish gear, wash your bed. If you have intimate contact, or if you have sex with somebody that has a sore on their face, cover the sore up, all this and that. So how did the dog get it? That's all I'm asking. Everything that we see says sex, monkeypox. How did the dog get it? Oh, he was just looking this. All right. Okay, cool. All right, bet. All right. Whatever you say, I take your word for it. But I still have the question in my mind. You know, I can accept what someone tells me, but my mind is thinking something else. My mind is like, I'm not sure I believe that. I want more answers. So this is my mind acting independently as his own autonomous thing, asking the question, how did the dog get monkeypox? When everything says sex is involved with transmission. Not me. I'm just reading the website. I don't know nothing. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I know nothing. I'm reading from the website when it says how to prevent it. That's all. That's all that I'm asking. And I also saw a story where a dog had been abused sexually. Not this story, but it was a different story. So let's not act like these things don't happen. If it did happen in this case, let's not pretend like it's outside of the possibility. Let's not act like it's impossible for this to happen if it did happen. Okay. But I'll move on. That's kind of a gross topic. I promise. It's kind of a gross topic, but understand that this thing could be something else, right? It could be. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And what else we got going on? Yeah, I had to move on. Enemyist. I had to move on. So Minneapolis, if you are a white teacher in Minneapolis, then congratulations, you have won the diversity lottery, and you might be fired as a result. Congratulations. Now, check it out. There was a strike in Minneapolis from the teachers union, and as part of their terms that they agreed to, they were talking about a thing called excess. If you get excessed, that means you got fired because there were too many teachers. And the reason why there's an excess of teachers in Minneapolis, where in other parts of the country there's a shortage, is because people are leaving Minneapolis. Why? I don't know. Maybe the Black Lives Matter riots, maybe the super duper ridiculous woke city council that voted to defund the police, but then had their own private security, taking the taxpayer money to have private security for themselves, but for the taxpayers to have fewer police. You got fewer police, corrupt city council, woke LGBT city council. They're more concerned with having 2 transgender people on the city council than they are with their own constituents, their own citizens, trying to protect them, trying to do things for them like they should be doing, that they were put in the seat to do. Okay, they're trying to be woke and be like celebrities rather than serving their constituents. But anyway, so maybe that's why they're losing population, is because of those things. BLM, woke city council, no police, high crime, all of that's going on, right? That's the whole issue here. So as a result, kids are leaving, parents are leaving. You have too many teachers. So now we got to fire a few dozen teachers because we got too many y'all. That's called excess, or excess, EXCESS. So there was a strike, and as part of the agreement that they came to, they said that if there's excess, let's fire the white teachers first. Let's fire the white teachers first. Why? Because 60% of the population of kids in Minneapolis, at least in the school districts, are non-white. But only 16% of teachers are non-white. So 60% of students are non-white, but 16% of teachers are non-white. They're saying that's the imbalance. They're saying that the majority is teachers are white, and if you fire any teachers of color, that's going to increase the white teacher population, making it more homogenous, which is going to be a negative thing for the kids, right? So to stop that from happening, when you want to lay off, when you want to have layoffs, you fire the white teachers first. That's the whole thing. And that will also, I guess, increase the percentage of non-white teachers in the school district. But it's so dumb because, first of all, it's racism. It's out and out racism. If you fire someone because of their race, isn't that illegal? Can you even do that? Like, can you actually do that? That is called discrimination. It's completely illegal. You can't do that. Civil Rights Era 64, Civil Rights Bill, that is written right there in the bill. You can't do that. So the question is, how are they able to get away with it? I don't know. I guess it doesn't mean anything anymore. We could be racist and fire and hire based on race, and it's totally fine. I guess we could do that anyway with affirmative action. So I guess that kind of killed that argument anyway, because you can hire somebody because they're black or LGBT or a woman. You can discriminate if it's positively viewed by some people. It's weird because if you hire a person because they're white, that'd be just outright racist. You couldn't do it. You would get tarred and feathered. You would have Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Benjamin Crump, D.L. Hughley, Barack Obama, the whole squad come out and they'll rain hellfire brimstone on your forehead. That's what they would do. But if you hire a black person because they're black, Ketanji Brown Jackson, oh, it's totally fine. It's great. And I want people to be consistent. If we're going to say it's racist to hire someone because they're white, the same thing we said if you hire someone because they're black, it should be the same thing. The same way, if you fire a person because they're black, if you fire them because they're black, it should be the same thing as you fire someone because they're white. If you do anything because of a race component, when you're talking about a job, if it's racist for one, then it's racist for all. Now, if we can hire and fire based on race and it's never seen as racist, then that's something else. So if I hire a white guy because they're white and it's not racist, then it's fine for me to hire and fire because they're black. We can't pick and choose here. And then really that always doesn't even apply because you're talking about the music industry, not the music industry, pardon me, the movie industry. Okay, you can have an all-white cast and they can be hired for that because they're white. But there's context there, I suppose, because let's say you're talking about a Nordic film and everybody in the movie is white, then it would make sense. Maybe they put one racially ambiguous person in there. Maybe they put Zendaya in there. Maybe they put Samuel L. Jackson with a blonde wig on in there to make it be more diverse. But generally that wouldn't happen, I suppose. But maybe it's different now in 2022. Maybe they look at diversity as even LGBT. So it could be an all-white cast, but if you have LGBT in there, then it's fine. It's weird. But anyway, so it's kind of ironic and a little bit funny because a lot of people that would be fired because they're white in Minneapolis, as far as the teachers are concerned, a lot of them are probably out there during the Black Lives Matter riots, supporting the riots, talking about justice for George Floyd and hands up, don't shoot, I can't. They supported Black Lives Matter. They supported all the woke measures that they went through. But now they are the victims. But now they're on the other end of the gun. Ain't no fun. Rapper got the gun, huh? Now you're going to be the victim. You thought you would be protected. You thought you'd be saved. You thought that they would have your back because you're an ally and you got on the BLM t-shirt and you go to your classroom. You got the LGBT flag and the BLM flag and the transgender flag. You thought you'd be safe, huh? Nope. And I called that from the beginning. I was like, those who were out there celebrating, crying and carrying on, having a good old time, talking about Black Lives Matter, they'll be the same ones crying when that same energy is used against them. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen when they firebomb your house, when you get fired because you're white, when they come to your neighborhood, a black neighborhood, if you live in the black neighborhood, and they tear it to pieces and they firebomb your house because they're trying to help you and they talk about Black Lives Matter, it won't be cool then. It won't be funny then. That's how it happens. And people don't, they usually don't understand that until it happens to them. Then they're like, oh, okay, I get it. That might have been a bad idea to support Black Lives Matter back in 2020 or back in 2016 or back in 2022 right now. Maybe it was a bad idea to support them at that particular point. Maybe I shouldn't have given to Black Lives Matter. Imagine you're a teacher. You make okay money, but you're not rich at all. You're just a regular normie working. You're a teacher, single mom. You gave money to Black Lives Matter, but that same group, that same energy got you fired from your job that you didn't have a lot of money from anyway. Now what you going to do? You're kind of confused like, man, I thought that was my people. I thought that we were on the same page. Nope. That's what happens. That's what happens. Not surprised at all. So we'll see how it works out for Minneapolis. I mean, the whole defund the police thing, that's going to leave a scar. I heard they're trying to like get the police back, but you didn't already fire them. So you can't really reverse that damage so quickly. It take a while to reverse the damage because now you don't let lawlessness set in from the lapse of police being able to patrol properly. It's just going to be a problem. So we'll see how it all works out. If I lived in Minneapolis, if I had kids out there, I'd leave pronto. I would not be there at all. I'd be out of there. I'd be on the first thing smoking. Okay. But if you leave Minneapolis, if you hear me right now and you live up there and you want to leave, please do not go to a new place and bring your old voting habits. If you are a leftist in Minneapolis, stay right there where you at because it doesn't get much better for a leftist city anyway. Where are you going to go? LA? Good luck with that. New York City? Good luck with that. Chicago? Oh, Chicago is beautiful, but where are you going to live though? Do you have enough money to live in a nice area, or are you going to be in gangland, in the hood, ducking bullets every day? Where are you going to live? So my ultimate point is the woke ideology that people in Minneapolis supported is now coming against them, is now being weaponized against them. And it's their own fault. It really is their own fault. To those who did not participate, to those who were not involved with the Black Lives Matter riots and whatnot, I feel for you. But you know what? It's time to go. If you're conservative in Minneapolis and you believe in states' rights, you don't believe in the Black Lives Matter thing, it's been time to go. You stayed way too long. you stayed way past your welcome. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Oh, and Texas CPS. Now, this is crazy. So CPS, if you know about them, that's Child Protective Services. Their job is to come in when parents neglect their children, they abuse their children, or when kids are in danger, basically. They come in. Sometimes they take they take kids out of the home. Sometimes they may visit to check and see what's going on with the child in the home without removal. They are supposed to be there to protect children, to help children. That's their primary job function. But I've heard quite a bit of you guys say, like in the comments, that they're not really there for that purpose all the time. They are many times, but they are also not many times. They are a big child abusing agency from what I hear. And again, I'm not saying this is all CPS agents. I'm not saying it's even the majority or even a really big part. But I am saying that it does happen. Why? Because you have adults that have access to vulnerable children. That's what's going on. It's the same thing with Catholic Church sometimes. Some of these priests, not all churches, but sometimes they do because they have the access to the kids. But definitely in CPS, a lot of these kids are vulnerable, been abused, homeless, all kind of stuff going on. So it's easy to take one of these kids or a bunch of these kids and send them in the wrong direction. Now, I got a video I'll play if you didn't see it yet, and it's on my website, anthonyblogan.com. You can check it out there. But there was a video of a CPS employee in Houston, Texas, recommending that a 14-year-old girl turn to the streets and sell her body. 14 years old. She was like, hey, I do it too. Stay in the hotel. Okay, stay in the hotel and get paid from these men to sell your body at 14 years old. First of all, you're underage. Straight away, you need to go to the penitentiary if you're saying that to a 14-year-old girl. That's the first thing. Second thing, you're taking advantage of vulnerable children. And you know what I think is that when they try to do stuff like this, when they encourage them to go to the streets, they'll probably give them to a pimp or some kind of human trafficking organization, some kind of cartel or something like that. Basically, they're selling the kids. They probably get a cut of each kid that they sell to whoever they're selling them to. That's probably what's going on. All right. And it's disgusting that they're in CPS doing this, but it happens. It happens a lot. Now, some are going to try to say, before I get to the video, some are going to say, well, you know what, ABL, that's why you should have Roe v. Wade, because if Roe v. Wade was strong and it was available to all mothers who wanted to abort their children, then they wouldn't be in this situation. First of all, you have no idea you can't make that assertion. You can't make that prediction. You never know where somebody might end up. They could be born to beautiful parents, mom and dad, and then things happen, things fall apart. Now they're in CPS. Or it could have been a false abduction from CPS. But I won't go down that road. But it could have been a false accusation, custody battle. You never know what's going on with these kids at CPS, foster care, whatever it is. You never know what's happening. You don't know the backstory. They could have been from a loving home and something happened and then they're not in a home anymore. Somebody could have died. You don't know what's going on. And furthermore, just because a child may be in gestation in a bad environment does not mean that it should die, because that environment can improve. That environment can change. the same way it could change for the worst when they come into a good situation. But here's the video right quick that I want to show you guys. Let's check it out.
Tonight with a story that you'll only see here on Fox. An employee with Child Protective Services is caught on camera telling a 14-year-old girl in foster care to become a prostitute.
That's right, and this girl is one of hundreds of kids in CPS custody living in hotels all over the state. Fox 26's Randy Wallace live from Southwest Houston here with this story. Randy, the exclusive.
Yeah, Jonathan. Now, earlier this year, a federal judge scorned Child Protective Services for making kids available for prostitution in the CPS system. Now we have a case where an employee with that state agency is actually encouraging prostitution of a 14-year-old child.
You're gonna be a real hoe.
Wouldn't they remove a child from a parent that told their child to be a prostitute?
They should. And they would.
Keisha Basley has 9 kids. She
9 kids.
Turned to Child Protective Services to help her with her 14-year-old daughter, who she says was running away and causing trouble at school.
My daughter told me that the worker had been telling her that she should do these things. So she said she decided to video her.
Can we get something to eat, please? CPS is housing the girl at a hotel. She's one of dozens in Harris County. In the video, she tells the CPS employee she wants food. The CPS worker tells her to be a prostitute. I mean, she was basically encouraging a 14-year-old girl to become a prostitute.
And giving her an incentive to do so, and almost a threat of not having her needs being met if she didn't do what this woman very explicitly told her to do.
If the parent, was to do something like this to my child, I would be bashed. I would be called a horrible parent. I would lose my kids. Get your tail to that room.
I mean, at a certain point, I mean, I'm all for life, but 9 kids, I mean, okay, be responsible. Be responsible. Like, okay, I don't see any man around at all. What are we doing? Be responsible. Abortion shouldn't be the answer at all. Be responsible. That should be the answer. Don't kill kids because you're irresponsible. Just be responsible. But I'm not sure what kind of system they have set up at CPS. Why are the kids in the hotel? Is there any adult supervising them? Because if they're in the hotel by themselves, they could be doing anything. They could have men in there all the time and nobody really, I mean, who would really know what's going on in that hotel room aside from the kid that's in there, the 14-year-old is in there by themselves? Is there an adult chaperone? Like, what's going on with the Houston CPS or CPS in general? And somebody said it, you got little kids that are involved with this. You have, not little kids, you have little boys that are also involved with the human trafficking that goes on. I think that they got cited for this thing before. Hold on, there's more to the video. Let me keep playing it.
Basley filed a formal complaint with CPS.
This should not happen to girls in their care. This should not happen. This is unacceptable.
Jamie Masters, the commissioner of CPS, came to Houston to personally apologize to Basley and her daughter.
I've never seen that happen before, where a commissioner of CPS comes in from Austin just to apologize about something that's horrible that's been done to a child and a parent involved with CPS.
I do not believe that that was genuine. I really don't.
It's bad enough if it's one rogue caseworker. It concerns me that it may be bigger than that, and they need to investigate this and make sure that it's not just one person, and they've got to figure out a way to protect these kids.
CPS sent us the following prepared statement. DFPS is aware of the video and has taken action. The person in the video, who was employed as CPS support staff, was dismissed from her position August 10th. The safety and appropriateness with which children in care must be treated is our paramount concern. Nothing less will be tolerated. Reporting live from the Southwest side.
So yeah, that's in Houston, Texas. You got these kids that are pretty much being trafficked by CPS. It's a whole thing going on. I don't know what the deal is, why they're in the hotel. I don't really understand what's going on, but and you know, you think CPS, that's where you have kids that are going to be safe, away from an abusive household, away from a crazy household. And then they have that happen. It's like, well, where's the refuge at? It's crazy. And the mom with the 9 kids, you know, you can have a lot of kids, but obviously she can't take care of them because one of them is not with her. One of the kids is in CPS. So it's like, when did you realize you cannot take care of all these kids you have? And I don't see any man around at all. And I'm sure there's multiple different men that are involved. I'm sure there's not just one guy she had 9 kids with. If there was one guy she had 9 kids with, then the girl wouldn't be running away because the dad would be there. Runaway girl, telltale sign of a fatherless household. But I'm getting too deep, so I digress. The point is that the parents got a responsibility, but also if there's a system that's set up to protect kids, they got to protect kids rather than just, you know, trying to push them into sex trafficking or giving them the wrong advice, leaving them out there vulnerable. Because if that's going on, they might as well be in the street. They may as well. How old is the mom? Probably pretty young, probably in the 30s, probably my age or younger than me. I've seen that before. I've definitely seen that before. I've seen women that age that start having kids when they're in their teens and they don't stop. They got kids all throughout from age 14 to 34. I've seen it time and time again. All right. But I'll move right forward. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Faith for Today says, who is this guy that looks like ABL with a white beard? LOL. Hey, I got to break news to you. It's me. I know it's a disguise, but I promise you it's me. All right. We got calls to get to in a minute. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Get to that in a few minutes. Oh, that's something else right there, Pin W. You also have hundreds of thousands of unaccompanied minors that cross southern border. Where are they? What kind of situation are they in? Who's looking out for their interests? Very good question. And also, a lot of them are being trafficked over here by cartel and whatnot. So there's that part. But that part never really gets addressed in the mainstream media. Oh, they're trying to find a better life. Well, how about the kids that are being sent over here or they're being kidnapped over here and sold into slavery, basically? How about that part? Are we just going to ignore that and let everybody come over? I guess so, right? Because that's compassionate to do that rather than trying to protect these kids that are being trafficked across the border, because that does happen. I mean, what's going on? All right. Yeah, I'm hiding from the feds, SC Wolverines. I'm hiding from the federales, man. They can't see me like this. I know my voice is the same, but they can't see me. So I'm trying to hide. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who said a 37-point Liz Cheney loss is so satisfying. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. So Liz Cheney lost her primary in Wyoming, got stomped, 37 points. I mean, it wasn't even close. I'm not sure how she was in office for that long, or at all, really. How long was she there? Was it one term? I'm not really sure. But it's amazing that Liz Cheney brought her dad, Dick Cheney, out. Hold on. And it didn't help at all. Do you see this man? This guy right here, I mean, he could be the villain in any movie right now. No makeup, no wardrobe, just right now. The way he looks right now, and you know his backstory. You might go hunting with him, might not come back. He might shoot you in the face and have you get on TV and apologize. I'm going to always say that every single time I see his face or mention his name. He'll shoot you in the face and make you apologize to him on TV. A press conference. Oh, I'm so sorry for the distraction. I will never get over that press conference ever in my life. But do you see this man right here? I mean, good grief. The face of evil. But bringing him out did not help at all. It probably made it worse because we don't like the Bushes and all them anymore. It's pretty much a wrap. Dick Cheney is an awful human being. So, yeah, that didn't really work. She got stomped into wine during the primary. Stomped into wine. And it was fantastic. Fantastic. I think some of the mainstream media went to Wyoming to try to find Liz Cheney voters, and they could not find one Liz Cheney voter. So shout out to Wyoming for doing what had to be done and getting Liz Cheney out of Congress. All right? Get him out of there. They get to TJ Jizzle, who says, ABL, you are spot on. This is not going to go well for all parties. Can you say Gestapo? Time to stop using TurboTax. Well, there you go. Boom. Or start using TurboTax. He also says, and when they bust in the door, do you understand there is no warrant needed? This is not going to go well. Exactly. They get to Hollow Boy for Life 2002, who says, I feel bad for that dog. The Humane Society should look into this. They get to M. Fisher for the kiss emoji, or the heart emoji, pardon me. They get to Apu, who says, ABL, Brian Rabbit called you coming for peach pie and tea. Also, ABL, your IRS 5-figure refund is diverted into training. Yeah, there you go. My refund money that should come to me went to training some of these agents. My man that was about 400 pounds, trying to be nimble, looking like Paul Blart Marcotte plus 100 pounds. My man that was in the wheelchair with a pistol. I'm not sure what he's going to do with that. I mean, and where do you carry your gun on the wheelchair? Like on your lap? How does that work? Anyway. Apu also says FBI didn't solve Seth Rich and let Nassar abuse gymnasts. He also says Patriot Freedom Project helps J6 MAGA Patriot prisoners in D.C. jail. Kentucky fans, y'all tell Mitch McConnell, why is Mitch McConnell so powerful? Also, ABL and ABL fans, what's your favorite TV British sitcom? The Office, Red Dwarf, Blackadder, Mr. Bean, Yes Minister, Fawlty Towers, Benny Hill, Two Ronnies. I've never heard anything except for Mr. Bean and The Office. Everything else, Blackadder, Fawlty Towers, never heard it before in my life until right now. I'm reading it right now for the very first time ever in my entire life. So I have no idea. So I guess you would say The Office would be the best one. But you guys may know, if you know, over in UK or you watch British sitcoms. Apple also says, hey, love the commentary about how we should treat restaurant servers with respect. Any old country buffet stories about good customers, big tips. Well, I didn't get tips from the. I would get tips from the from the front of the house, from the wait staff. They would tip me because I would come out there and I'd be real good with washing the dishes. I had a system I would do where I would take the carts with the dishes in them from the front of the house, bring them to the back, and it would go like clockwork. Because normally they would have to come back there with the cart, but I would come out there and take it myself, bring it to the back, clean it up, and send it back out there, and they'd be good. So I would get tipped for doing that, but I never got tips from customers. I got, we had interesting customers. We had the Twin Towers, the two transgender guys. These guys were 7 foot tall each. Literally, 7 foot tall each, and they were transgender. They had all the implants and everything. It looked crazy. It was like Jerry Springer in real life when they would come in there. I'm 6'3". I'm looking like this. Shaquille O'Neal, but transgender. And it was two of them. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. And then we had the bulimic couple. They looked like a front page magazine, beautiful. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a picture of what they look like. What, like country music magazine? I can't really describe it, but it looked like the prototypical American family. Hold on, let me search beautiful American family. Okay. Matter of fact, it was something like this, actually. It was something like this. It looked like this. Matter of fact, because the man he had a plaid shirt all the time. That was his main thing. She was not quite dressed like this. She looks kind of like she had to go wash some clothes. But the man was looking just like that. Clean shave, nice, regular hairstyle, white guy, blue jeans. That's him right there. Yep. His wife looked kind of better than that. It might be his daughter right there. She looked like kind of not really dressed very well. But the point is they dressed very well. They would be there from the morning. I'm talking about from the time we open at 8 a.m. to close at 8 or 10 p.m. They'd be there the entire day. And they would eat plates that were like this big. I'm talking about humongous plates. They would eat a buffet food. And they would eat that for breakfast. Stay in there all day. And then they would go to the bathroom together. They'd be in there for a while. Half hour. No lie. Then they would come back for lunch, dinner. And they would eat again a really big plate. They would do that at least 3 times in a day. A mountain of food. It was so much food that could not possibly look like this without, spitting it back up. So what I learned from that was do not judge a book by its cover, because you can never tell what somebody's going through, who somebody is by their appearances. You can never, ever tell. They looked like the perfect American couple, but they were ridiculously crazy. Crazy as whatever. You talk to them, they sound fine, but when you see their plates, I never seen it before in my life. I'm a big guy. I like to eat food sometimes. I'm talking about like they had this mountain of food, everything on the menu they would eat all day. And they would do that a lot in the week. It was crazy. But I digress. So yeah, that was my Old Country Buffet memories right there. The very interesting customers. I think it's and I'm sorry for killing your name right here, Araya Public Insurance Adjusting, for the donation. I appreciate you for that. Okay. We got calls on deck. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Hold on. Araya says, what was the most impressive project you ever did while using Photoshop? Any tips? That's a really good question. You're taking me all the way back to that. It's hard to say, actually. The most impressive project I ever did, it's hard to say. I did so many projects over like a 10-year period. Probably my first e-commerce website back in like, when was that? Like 2010? So about 12 years ago, maybe? Aside from that, I think I was impressed with myself when I did a bunch of flyers for an African consulate. It's a long story, but basically I had a client that was the country of Angola, Africa. That's close to South Africa and Namibia on the west coast of Africa. Not West Africa, but Southern Africa, close to Namibia, South Africa, But anyway, I dealt with their consulate, and they would do certain events in Angola, also in their consulate in Houston, Texas. I think somewhere else too, but normally it was for Angola or Houston. I would do stuff for tourism and all kind of stuff. So one day I get a call, and they were like, "Hey man, we got an emergency. We're going to have an event. We're going to have world dignitaries there, and we need a bunch of 24x36 posters to display our country. We're talking about, we got diamond mines, we got fishery, agriculture. We need you to do like, I don't know how many, it might have been 20 posters right now." So I did it in like 13 hours straight at my computer. I sat for 13 hours and did everything. I might have got like $2,000 for that. This was back in like 09, maybe 010, 2010, 2009. It was some years ago. But yeah, that was a crazy experience. So shout out to them. Shout out to my man Antonio at the consulate. And I still had that client as recently as like 2019. I was still getting some work for them. And I've not done any design work in a long time, but the only reason why I still dealt with them is because, I don't know, it's just, they were always good to me. They always looked out always paid on time, and it was a big client. You got a whole country basically doing their stuff. But I digress. Let's go ahead and move to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If you can't get on immediately, do not blame me. Please blame the white man because it ain't my fault. But let's go ahead and get cracking. There's also an email in the description that you can call me on as well. Oh, also any tips I had for my man or for whoever that was. Just have great customer service. Be realistic. If they ask you, hey man, when can I have it done? Be realistic. Don't say I can do it right away when you can't do it right away. Give him a realistic timeline and follow through with it. But don't give him a long timeline. Do it quickly but efficiently. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Oh, hold on. This is 919. Hold on 1 second, boss. I gotta fix my audio here. So give me just 1 second and we'll get it cracking. Caller, can you hear me? Okay, maybe not. Hold on. This PC, it never wants to do right. Okay, so I should be hearing it. I don't understand why I'm not hearing it. I'm gonna try to call you back, caller, or you try to call me back. Let's do this one more time because I think that there's a problem. Okay. Let's try this again. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Okay. It says speakers are muted, but it shouldn't be.
Oh, yeah.
918, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right, okay, we good. We good now. What's happening?
All right, we're good now? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, it's JB. Yeah, a lot of good news stories as always. Well, actually not really good news stories, kind of bad news stories. This whole thing with the CPS down in Texas, I mean, that's pretty freaking troubling if you ask me, honestly. I mean, this is like there's more to this than we know, honestly. I mean, some really sinister things going on, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that person, they shouldn't have just been fired. I mean, there should be immediate zero tolerance. You know, you're on camera and you're saying things like that to a young girl, you know, hey, straight to jail, straight to prison. You know, you are a sick person. You know, I mean, there should be just no tolerance for this at all. I mean, the fact that it even exists is just, it blows my mind. It really does. It blows my mind. And the mother, like you were saying earlier, yeah, I mean, come on, 9 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, lady, I mean, come on, behave yourself. You know, I mean, why is this kid even in child protective services in the first place? You know, what happened? Why is she there? You know, what kind of mom is she? And then now she's playing the victim card, like, oh, you know, well, why was your daughter there in the first place? Why weren't you taking care of her?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, that story kind of really got me fired up a little bit. Well, quite a bit, actually, and then with all the illegal border crossings, all the young kids coming across, and we have no idea where they're going. I mean, it's just a big mess right now. It really is. But yeah. Anyway, I wish I had something more positive to say, honestly. I mean, I don't know, these IRS agents. I don't know. Well, I guess the good positive thing is about Liz Cheney. Okay, so Liz Cheney's out, and hopefully we'll never hear from the Cheney family ever again. So that's one good thing.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'll let you go and sit back and listen to the rest of the show. And Love you, man. Love everyone here in the chat and the calls. And have a good night, dude.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, later.
Shout out to the caller. And I have a meme right quick. I'm going to show before I get to the next call. See if I can get to it right quick. Speaking about Liz Cheney and not being there anymore. So her next job might be doing something like this. Hold on one second. As you can see, you got Liz Cheney right there in the drive-through window. McDonald's handing Trump his drinks. That might be your next job. Or she goes to MS-13 DNC, CNN, something like that, to be a contributor, to be the so-called conservative. And you know what? She might go to The View or something like that. She'd be the next Ana Navarro, right? That's kind of how that goes. A so-called Republican, but that's a straight liberal. Or a Republican is like a warmonger, a person that's like part of the establishment, part of the good cop, bad cop situation. But I digress. Let's keep on rocking. 434-658-1220. 919 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name's Matt.
All righty. What's happening?
Hey, ABL, man. I've been trying to get up with you a long time, and the first time I was the one that called earlier and you had issues. I'm like, man, my phone, one time I finally get to ABL and it gets up, man. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Anywho, I'm from your neighboring state of North Carolina, man, and I see everything that's going on, man. And, you know, history just repeats itself over and over, dude. You know, the Democrats of today, they're the Democrats of the old. They haven't changed.
That's right.
And they just traded in their white hoods for BLM flags and pride flags. See, once they drain everything they want out of these people that support them, then they go back to definitely their old ways. You know, they're the only ones that bring race and everything, you know. Even so, going as far as to calling people coloreds again, black folks. They're just calling them people of color. What's the difference?
Same
thing.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And going back to you were talking about the COVID thing, you know, how we all on basically, if you will, the right or whatever, we were right. You know, you can't distance yourself from disease. It goes back to history again. You know, I'm a history buff. When the settlers came over here from Europe, they were exposed to diseases that they never had, and it killed a lot of them. Same with the Indians. You know, you got to have natural immunity.
That's right. Exactly.
And I tell people that, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. This same stuff has happened through history. It just seems even worse now, just simply because of social media. But nothing's changed. You know, history is clock that just keeps turning. You know,
absolutely.
History has a funny way of repeating itself.
Yeah, it does. It works like that sometimes, and it's kind of crazy to see it because you can kind of predict it because you've seen it before. It's not anything new.
Oh yeah, and going to your Liz Cheney thing, my man, I'm definitely glad, and I like that meme you put up there with the Donald Trump. Now that's pretty funny. That's a good one. You know, these people that claim they're Republicans. You know, I'm calling it the new MAGA Republican Party, in my opinion, because you know, people like Donald Trump have elevated people, even people like you. B. Tatum, the conservative twins, you know, all these black folks, you know, people like him, he's helped you guys, you know, get up there. I mean, who says these people that say black folks can't succeed is dumb? We're the land of opportunity.
Right, exactly.
And I tell people there's a whole lot of money in this country, aside from what the Democrats want to spend, but there's a whole lot of money in this country. You just got to be willing to put your name on it.
That's right. Got to go out there and get it.
Exactly. And, you know, I see some of these young kids and stuff today, and in my opinion, me personally, I'm 30 years old, man. I see a lot of kids that are growing up with not enough whoopings, and that's just my opinion. You know, I see the way some of these kids disrespect their parents. I look at them and I'm like, boy, if I ever thought of talking to Big Mama that way, she'd have smacked me through the wall.
That's right. Ain't no question, no doubt about it.
And, and I don't even think the FBI raid hurt Donald Trump. You know, this man, he thrives off adversity. You know the old saying, any publicity is good publicity. And, you know, he's shooting through the roof right now. I mean, and if he does run and win, which I hope he does in 2024, after his term's up, I think I'm blame everything on him again, and he won't be able to run again.
Right.
But he's living rent free in the Democrats' minds. I mean, they love him. They love him. They can't stop talking about him, so they must love him.
I mean, they can't get enough of him. Like, they keep talking about him, and it's weird because I go into some of their spaces online. They keep talking about Trump this, Trump that. It's like, good grief. I mean, you must miss him because you have not stopped talking about this guy. I see what's going on here.
Exactly. He's just ratings for him, and they know that. All this stuff, the impeachment, the two-time impeachment champion, in my opinion. Anyways, all this impeachment, the FBI, it's just publicity stunts, man. That's all it is. They're not going to find anything. I mean, they could. I mean, they probably took some toilet paper out of there for all. I'm sure that stuff is nice and they. Oh my God, he's trying to save toilet paper for himself. You know, he wants his own bottle. Mr. White supremacist, orange man bad. You know. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, just like the View, the leftist view, and I'm not in the one to cancel these people because I'm against cancel culture. You know, do what you it's a free country, do you? But I mean, every time they talk, they just mention his name at least once. That or racism. It's one of those two things.
That's right.
And it's ridiculous. But hey, man, I know you got other callers, my dude, but it was nice talking to you. Keep up the good fight, my dude.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
I'm a fellow patriot.
Right on. Thank you.
Take it easy, buddy.
Shout out to the call. Good call. Yeah, they love Trump on the left. They love him. They can't get enough of him. And if they don't, I can't tell. 602, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, man,
Hey, this is Fred.
All righty, what's going on?
Not much, ABL. Hey, I just wanted to say I don't think Liz Cheney's going anywhere. I think we're going to see her in 2024 running on an independent or a third-party ticket, just trying to peel off votes from the Republican candidate to give her Democrat friends a chance to win.
Now, do you think that do you think she has any chance? Because, like, understand that she got stomped completely into wine in Wyoming. It wasn't even close. And then and then also a large part of the Republican Party still supports Trump. And a big part of the reason why she lost is because of her first, the rhino stance, but also the anti-Trump stance. Right. So I don't think I don't think that she would be able to have that Ross Perot effect.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to win. I don't think that's the point. I think a third party just to peel off votes, just to peel off the voters from the Republican candidate to prop up the Democrat. I don't think she won't win. She won't run to win. She's an anti-Trump. She's just at war.
But see,
that's what I think.
I see what you mean, but she won't have that Ross Perot effect. That's what Ross Perot did when Bill Clinton won. But she doesn't have that type of. I mean, you got to have somebody else in there, like Ron DeSantis. Like if it was DeSantis against Trump, that'll split it. But Liz Cheney, no, I think not.
Well, we'll see. All right, I love you, man. Peace.
Thank you for the call. Yeah, I see what he's talking about, but I don't think she has that kind of juice to do that. You need to have somebody that has a lot of juice, a lot of ability to go out there and take some votes from people. Not Liz Cheney. No. And she got stumped like, I'm telling you, she got stumped like, one of these World Star videos in Wyoming. No, I think not. 501, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, this is Mac. How you doing there, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I'm just on the road. I'm a truck driver. First time call, but a long time listener.
Good to have you, man. What's on your mind?
I guess everything, what you're talking about, all your subjects, you always got good topics. And I try to stay on topic. But everything that you've talked about has been, it just seems like it's just the opposite world. Everything that's right is wrong. Everything that's wrong is right. It's like what you talked about, Fox situation, and they don't want to bring the truth to the forefront. It's because it'll discriminate against the LGBT community, just like they did the AIDS. Well, they kind of act like it was like a heterosexual and a homosexual problem, but it just they don't want to step on their constituents' toes, and they want to be supported through the ABC mafia.
Right.
Right. Hey, I got a question for you, ABL.
You're breaking up there, boss. Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear your last words. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I did not hear you. You were like breaking up during that question, so I didn't hear the question.
Asking, did you were you ever contacted by the Blaze to work for the Blaze?
I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think maybe I've been on the Blaze before, but I've not been contacted by them to work for them. But I've been on the Blaze.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like you'd be a great fit. You kind of remind me of I know you did a segment about Young Ripper 5'9" about his comic book company.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was big.
Definitely.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that big.
You breaking up, but yeah, but that was really a good segment.
Shout out. I just wanted to shout out and keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate your content. I let you go because I'm in driving, so I get bad signals when I call.
Gotcha.
So I appreciate you taking my call, though, man.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the caller. Great call. All right, Tariq, what's happening?
Hey, yo, what's up, man? Yeah, man. This is a good day, man. You know, Liz Cheney did get blown out the water, man.
Oh, yeah.
She got blown out the water. So I do think Wyoming, but she's so delusional, man. I mean, and I'm trying to think, like, what drives these Republicans to be this delusional, where she's still ranting on, even after her losing speech, about doing everything in her power to stop Trump from running from office. And I'm like, why do these rhino Republicans focus so much on Donald Trump? He's not even the president. They say nothing about Democrats, nothing about Democrat policy, nothing about any free speech issue. Where was Liz Cheney when Black Lives Matter was out here protesting, burning down businesses, attacking American citizens? American citizens were dying. Where was Liz Cheney on that? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you know what's crazy is that rhino Republicans like Liz Cheney, this was permeating the Republican Party. And this is why Republicans didn't get a lot of young voters. Because, I mean, all they do is they talk about foreign policy or things that has nothing to do with us. I mean, just think about when Obama won twice. Mitt Romney and John McCain, that's the best the Republican Party can do. Like, I'm not finna vote for them. I didn't like Obama, but I dang sure didn't like Mitt Romney and John McCain. All Mitt Romney talked about was just going to war with Russia. Nothing conservative, nothing on our free speech, nothing with our borders, nothing with improving the economy. This is what this party stood for. So then when Trump comes in, actually espousing Republican values, and you know, I'm not a Christian, but actually defending Christianity because Christianity's been taking some L's in America, and they want this man out. And to be honest, ABL, I really think it's really because Donald Trump is really not with that foreign policy BS.
Yeah.
that the Republicans are for. I think that's why they truly hate them. A lot of those neoconservatives, they all kind of jumped ship to the Democrats because the Democrats like to act like they are, for peace. But when they are pro-war, they're like, oh, we are doing this war to save these people from a dictator. That's how the Democrats do. But I think that's why they truly hate Donald Trump and why they're so focused on him. Or they will mention something about his personality. Like these are all emotional things. My thing is, as long as your agenda is getting pushed through, why do you care about his personality? Aren't your interests being met? Like, I would love to ask Liz Cheney or that other traitor Adam Kissinger or that other traitor Mitt Romney, what Republican agenda is not being met under President Donald Trump? That you will sit there and sacrifice a Trump presidency, a Republican presidency, to put some far left liberal in to get some far left liberal Supreme Court justices. Like I wonder what these clowns would say. And to me, man, it's just never about the Republican Party for them, man. It's just about for them getting, special interest money in their pockets. And now they are being propped up against Donald Trump because, they don't want that American First Donald Trump wing taken over. They don't want no Republican Party criticizing the media. What? You got a Republican Party criticizing the FBI, the CIA, finally calling these institutions out. They don't want that. They want us like the Democrat Party voters who at first hated those institutions, but now love them. They're just sleeping. Whatever the CIA, FBI say, without any proof, the stupid liberal voter will just go for it. And the Republican Party used to be that way until Donald Trump came in, and they don't like that, man. And and that's why you don't see on the Democrat side, where are the never Biden Democrats? Where are the Democrats who constantly only talk about Democrats, or the ones who get voted into power and then stick the middle finger up to their constituents and say, my whole purpose is to make sure Biden doesn't win another term. I don't care about no Republican agenda. I'm only going to attack my own. It doesn't exist, but it only exists on the Republican Party. Why? Because we're finally weeding out these corrupt clowns that are truly indeed Republican in name only. So yeah, man, that Liz Cheney loss was a great defeat. She is delusional. If she really thinks she's going to win president, she is delusional. In fact, if she does win, it's been cheating involved. I think Lisa Murkowski is next. And the one more thing I want to say is that it is genius that Donald Trump is doing. It's like, I got to give this man his flowers. To sit there and primary Republicans, this typically doesn't happen. But to sit there and primary these traitorous Republicans is a smart move because, you need to get your people in line in the House, get your people in line in the Senate, so that way you don't have this nonsense, this Mitt Romney nonsense holding back policy agendas when you become president because they mostly hate you. You know what I'm saying? And then the next thing Trump needs to do is, if he does win, he's got to get some cabinet members who are not a part of the Rhino establishment. Like, get some people who are never in politics, who are pro-Trump and has a track record. Get them in so we can get these agendas done. But yeah, man, that's all I got to say, man. Down for the Rhinos. I love it when Rhinos cry more than liberals because these clowns think they're special just because liberals hold them up. These clowns are useless. They are dying off. And all I got to say is good riddance. That's all I got to say, man.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Very well said. Great calls. You guys are fantastic as always. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's go to 860 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
Wouldn't do any good anyway, 'cause most people don't listen. But remember that page I read out of the book? Weapons of Hyper Conflict by Antali, the Frenchman, in 1981.
I don't really remember, but I do remember you reading a page. I don't remember the words though.
Right. It's basically it was the blueprint for the scamdemic.
Yeah.
Where the stupid will demand to be treated, and we shall create the solution to the problem. Not their problem, our problem. We want to get rid of you. But there was another August 14th, this World Economic Forum advisor has the title of it, "We Don't Need Majority of the World Population." So they're coming out and saying it in the open right now. And in the article, it clearly states Bill Gates, one of the most predominant globalists, has advocated for both vaccines and abortion as ways of bringing down the world's population. I got to say, ABL, if the CDC had not went and changed the definition of a vaccine 3 times since 2015, I might have went along with the dumb, better hurry up and get the vaccine because it's a vaccine. No, it's mRNA gene therapy. A vaccine is a weakened or dead virus injected into the body to train and strengthen the body's natural immune system against a specific virus. They changed the definition.
That's right.
And I noticed little things like that, in the beginning. Well, the White House, Senate, and Congress and their aides and Moderna and Pfizer employees are not required to get the vaccine, but you guys are. You're going to get fired because we put a mandate out. Now, do you know what a mandate is? According to American law?
What's that?
A mandate is when 2 gay men get lucky after dinner in a movie. That's a mandate. It ain't got no place in American law.
There you go.
So, and yes, I made that meme on Facebook. But, yeah, mandate. Get out of here. Like I said, my pronouns are Your Majesty, Your Highness, Sire, and my favorite, but you got to be a friend or relative, my liege. Okay, those are my pronouns. Anyway, brother, love your show. But the problem with Democrats is how they destroy something is they join it and destroy it from the inside. That's what they do. The NRA, they join it and destroy it from the inside. The whole purpose of the Second Amendment is so the American citizen has the exact same armament as the Army. That's the whole purpose of the Second Amendment. Not this watered down magazine limitation. Those are all illegal laws. They're not constitutional.
Exactly.
Shall not be infringed. Plain English.
Very simple.
Plain English. But you still got to send me the time and date of the boating accident, brother. I was there. I remember, but, I kind of, swimming and everything, helping survivors, I kind of lost track of the time and date
right.
from my deposition.
Right. Is that absolutely?
But anyhow, brother, love you. And my God, what a crazy world. What a crazy world. She was having them 9 kids until the state said, we ain't paying for no more. And then, okay, well, she's got to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I got 2 kids. I'm 62 years old. I have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. And I'm not bragging. It's just I watched a lot of people screw up a lot of kids over the years. And I spanked my kids till they're about 5 or 6 years old. But I always talk to them afterwards and I always explain to them, I don't like doing this. But if you hadn't done what you did, then I wouldn't have to be put in this position. So you need to stop doing that so I don't have to do this because it really upsets me that I have to spank you.
Right.
And I was at a parent-teacher conference this past school year with my 13-year-old daughter. And one of the other teachers goes, "Oh, you're so-and-so's father, aren't you?" Talking about my son. I said, "Yes, I am." And she goes, "Oh, I really love that boy. Could you please tell him that Mrs. O said hi?" I said, "Yeah, I will. Thank you." And that made me feel really good, like I might be doing one thing in this life right. Anyway, ABL, God bless. Love your show. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Bye.
All righty. Let's keep rocking here. Thank you for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. Let's go to 978. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? This is Eric. I'm just calling because I want to read a Knoxville report that came out earlier in the year, and it goes along well with that phone call. The person that was just talking behind me. It was talking about the 10 richest men, and they doubled their wealth during the pandemic. They went from $700 billion to $1.5 trillion during the pandemic. So, like, if you think about it, if someone had a reason to do it, it's a good incentive for those people. You know, that's all I got to say about that. It brought me back when he was going in on all that. Thanks for taking that call.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
201, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Peace, ABL. It's Foster the Prankster. How you doing tonight, bro?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
Oh, man. So I'm listening to this, the stuff about the CDC, and it's funny. I got like a kind of a dark sense of humor, I guess, because I hear this stuff now, man, and I can't really have no reaction but to just kind of laugh because, it's like you said, we were right the whole time, and they're slowly pulling the rug out, and now they're just hoping that everybody will just forget and let everything that they did get swept under the rug. You know, they demoralized people for 2 years by lying for so long that most people just accepted it. So, and they want to pretend it never happened as well. But, I think it's just important to hold these people accountable. And right now, some of your audience knows my story about, getting fired in Jersey for over the vax mandate. And then, my employer did some snake stuff and lied on me about my job performance to not get me to get unemployment. So right now, in addition to, the civil lawsuit that I'm trying to, take them to court for that, I'm also attempting to now press criminal coercion charges with the county prosecutor's office where I was fired against the people responsible for firing me and blocking my unemployment with those baseless allegations. And it's funny because one of the clerks, when I called the courthouse, one of the clerks said that since I'm no longer local to the area, that I can't certify the complaint because they require that the documents be delivered in person. So I said, what about the past 2 years where everything had to be done remote because of the deadly virus? She said, oh, well, now things are back to normal and the standard procedures are back in place. I said, things ain't back to normal for the people who were dehumanized and blackballed for all those policies of the past 2 years. So what are you talking about? Right? But they essentially, what people have to understand, man, is that they ran an extortion racket on a mass segment of the population. They said, do what we say or else we'll take your livelihood. That's what the mafia does. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone says these people need to be held accountable, but I see so few people actually putting in the effort to try to hold them accountable. And, I know like the nurses won, I think it was Chicago, the nurses group won like $10 million from the hospital that fired them. And that's great. Like, civil lawsuits are great. And those people should be compensated for the pain and suffering and, the being discarded, not based on their qualifications or the quality of their work, but just off of a private personal medical decision. But the thing is that money is not enough. The people that carried out these criminal acts, it needs to be addressed by the institutions that allowed it to happen. You know what I'm saying? These people need to be held accountable to the highest degree, because all of this stuff was egregious. And those of us who knew they were lying, we were mocked, we were ridiculed, and now it's all coming out, and everybody's just like, oh, okay, they just want to move on. You feel me? But man, that's the end of my rant. I just had to get that off my chest. But I know you kind of feel the same way. You like, I don't want no apologies. It's like, yeah, man, facts. I don't want no apology. Like, you can keep that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, have a good night, ABL, man. Much love, bro. Peace.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Great call. Exactly. Keep the apology. I don't want that. That's nothing. You got to fix situation because now you didn't ruin people's lives. People died behind this. So no. I want you to really go ahead and go all the way with it. You can't just say, "Oops, my bad, sorry." That's not going to cut it at all. That's not going to get me anywhere near where I need to be. Okay, reparations for real, like for real, because it just happened to all of us, like right now. I don't want you to come back 100 years later talking about, "Oh, we're going to do this for you." No, do it right now. You got people that were affected by it. We're right here. Okay, we're still living. We're going through it right now. People are getting fired like recently. So like today, people are getting fired. So no, fix this right now. That's what I want. I don't want none of the PR, all that. You can keep all that stuff for sure. So yeah, that was a great call. And thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So if you enjoy what you are hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I'd appreciate it if you did. Yep. Somebody said my beard is older than me. Yeah, man. I just got that gray, man. It's just hereditary. I don't know what it is, where it comes from. It's just one of those things that happens, I suppose. 470, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, hey, this is Craig from Wild and Wacky Atlanta. How you doing, sir?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, I caught your show a little late. I did get on to about 9:05. You were talking something about teachers getting fired for being white or something. What was?
Yeah,
so go back on that a little bit.
So what happened was in Minneapolis there was a strike from the teachers union, and when they came to terms in their agreement, they said that if there was going to be any layoffs due to excess teachers, the white teachers would get fired first because they want to try and increase they want to increase the number of minority teachers.
Yeah, they're doing stuff like that with other companies too as well. United announced last year they wanted something like 30 or 50% non-white pilots by 2030. American Express, if you remember, Fox broke the news back about 2-3 months ago. American Express is offering financial incentives to fire white people and hire non-whites.
Crazy.
That quickly got forgotten about. So yeah, that's really sucks. So anyway, yeah, I'm really glad to see Liz gone. Really celebrating that tonight. That's so great. I'm watching Trump pick off the rhinos one by one. A great move.
Oh, absolutely.
So what do you think?
I think it's amazing, and I think that we probably could have saw it coming. We probably knew that this was going to happen, but I'm glad that it did happen. I'm glad what we saw coming actually came to fruition, and it was not just a wishful idea.
Yeah, now she has plenty of time to go hunting with her dad. He's got a great track record with firearms.
Exactly.
Good way to take her out. I just can't wait till Pelosi's gone and Maxine Waters and Chuck Schumer. Oh, that'll be the day. So anyway, all right, man. I hope you're doing well and stay in good health. And I'll talk to you later. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that what we wanted to happen actually did happen, and it wasn't just, oh no. Let's make it happen for real. That's definitely what I want to see, for sure. Because, I mean, part of me was thinking that this could go another way. This could go, it could happen to where, that she stayed in office. Now, I don't see how that would have really happened. I don't really understand that part. But, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I don't really put anything beyond anybody. But I'm glad it didn't happen that way. I'm 100% glad it didn't happen that way, for sure. All right. I'll read some of these comments here. Yeah, and then she has the audacity trying to talk about she wants to run for president. I'm like, how are you going to do that? How is that going to work? Hold on. Let me see if I can find a video where she said that. But how is this going to work? Okay, here's a video right here. Give me 1 second to pull it up. Let me see. Let's go ahead and pull that right there. And the caption from Benny Johnson, shout out to him, says, unseated Liz Cheney now wants to primary Trump in 2024. So not even thinking about running third party necessarily, at least not in this particular video but trying to primary him. There's no way. If you got stomped in the Wyoming primary, how are you going to defeat Trump in a national primary? That makes no sense.
The former president said last night you're now headed to political oblivion. You said this fight is just beginning. You've even launched a political organization already. So let's just be straight about it. Are you considering running for president yourself?
Well, what I'm going to do, Savannah, is spend the next several months completing my work in Congress, obviously completing my work representing the people of Wyoming. We have a tremendous amount of work left to do on the January 6th committee. And also, though, I'm going to be making sure that people all around this country understand the stakes of what we're facing, understand the extent to which we've now got one major political party, my party, which has really become a cult of personality. And we've got to get this party back to a place where we're embracing the values and the principles on which it was founded.
What you mean, based upon its founding principles, based upon what you want it to be, as far as a warmongering, going at drones, striking kids in Middle Eastern countries? Is that what we got to go back to, or no?
And talking about, fundamental issues of civics, fundamental issues of what does it mean to be a constitutional republic.
But Congresswoman, you didn't answer me yes or no.
It takes
yeah,
to
I know
keep
that
Donald Trump. I will be doing whatever it takes to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office.
Well, I know you didn't say yes or no, and that's fine if you're thinking about it. But are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about running for president?
That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
No way. Ain't no way. Come on, man. Liz Cheney, you might as well put Dick Cheney out there. He had a better chance of winning than her. I think that these people underestimate the United States. I think they think that we are more progressive than we are. I think a woman can't win the presidency. I don't think so. The only reason why Kamala Harris was put in there is because she's non-white. Because remember, she ran for president too and was getting stomped into wine during the primary. She was polling at zero. She's polling at zero. So women trying to run for president, I don't really see that happening. And if it's going to be a woman, let it be somebody that has some type of, charisma, some type of likability, some type of political clout. Not Liz Cheney, who just got stomped into dust during the Wyoming primary. 765, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. This is Lucas from Newcastle, Indiana.
All right, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, man? So I was listening to what you say about Cheney, but you didn't think that a woman for president or could make it. But what do you think about Tulsi? I'm Trump all the way, but what do you think about a DeSantis Tulsi Gabbard ticket? You like it?
I don't know about Tulsi Gabbard. I think she's still a Democrat. I think that she says some things that I agree with sometimes, but she's still a Democrat. So I don't think that's really going to work out too well.
Oh, I think maybe she's... Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Bill. Hello. This is his wife.
We're watching you as a family here on the big screen.
And by the way, we really love you. And I just want to say that I was the one that first started watching you, and so my husband started following. But no, I think Tulsi, I don't know. She's moderate enough, and maybe she can pull in the Democratic vote, especially if she paired with somebody like DeSantis.
And she's not establishment, you know what I mean? So you don't like it?
I just, because I've been watching her, and I would see her on television. Yeah. Like the main thing that really got me was when she was doing the debates, when she was trying to become, I guess, what was that, president, trying to get Democratic nomination, and they were asking them questions, and she pretty much answered all the questions the same as the Democrats. So she says some things I agree with, and I can respect her for that, but I think ultimately her DNA is still liberal Democrat, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes. she's gonna have to. Yes, I agree with you. She's gonna have to. Yeah, she's gonna have to appeal more to the right for sure. I think she.
But she's pro-gun. She's pro-guns, or Second Amendment, better said. And I just think she's common sense a little bit more so. And I just think that's what we need in government is like just common sense. You know, I mean, we need Joe Plumber to run, like they used to say, you know, for these offices, not like people that are like groomed politicians. And I just get that vibe from her, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, I don't know. I mean, I like DeSantis. I think he's a little bit like Trump, but he's, you know, political, you know, I mean.
Well, he's more like he's very political, but maybe he's like tapping into the Trump-esque, you know, what he was doing, you know, trying to be like in between. And so if they could like come together and I think if they could form a ticket, I think it could work really well.
Yeah, it could, but we'll see. We'll see how that would work out if they actually go out there and do it. You got to see it in action.
All right,
Oh,
ABL.
absolutely.
All right, we love you, man. Keep it up.
Yep.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate y'all. All right. Shout out to the callers. Great call. And let's go to 208. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Terry from Boise. How are you this evening?
I'm well. Can't complain about yourself.
I'm pretty good. I'm tired of talking about Liz Cheney, but I've got to say something.
All right.
I listened to that same interview, and she says she's going to do everything she can so Donald Trump doesn't get back in office. Now, there were 2 Democrats from the House, plus or Senate, plus her, that were telling Democrats to go change their affiliation to Republicans so that they could vote for her. Now, that right there is shady in my opinion. So I think what she's planning on doing with Trump is that she's hoping to get some of the votes. So she's willing to put a Democrat back in as a president.
Well, I mean,
when you look at it, because she sure as heck isn't going to beat Trump, and she knows it.
Yeah, but like I was saying earlier, I don't think she has enough juice really to get that type of. She doesn't have the what was that the Ross Perot effect. She doesn't really have that because there's not enough appeal with her. She didn't do well in the primary at all. She got stomped into line during the primary. So I don't foresee her being able to have that much effect in the election to take votes away from Trump. Not Liz Cheney. Maybe somebody else, but not her.
I don't know. Those rhinos, I just don't trust them. It's crazy. Okay, well, you have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, ABL. Turning down the background there. So you don't think a woman can be president?
I think that it's possible, but I doubt it's going to happen. Not anytime soon.
Well, the reason I say that is because I think you are probably right as far as the media goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the media won't allow something like that. That inspired mass media background that wants to control everything. No, they'll not let that happen.
Yeah, I don't.
Because they want people to think it fits in the narrative that we are not that, forward thinking yet. It fits in the narrative that women are oppressed. Right?
Yeah.
That fits the narrative. But I think from like an actual popular background, Tulsi probably could, if she actually went right a little bit, yeah, she could probably get it. She says some stuff that's way off the wall, like you said. I don't agree with that. Right. Candace probably needs to educate herself on a lot of stuff and be a little less controversial. She answers things with a kind of an attack mode, but I like her. She's actually her husband is her husband is a friend of mine's brother. So hopefully she comes to Tokyo at some point to visit her sister-in-law. Maybe I'll meet her. But I don't know, man. Did you see? I wanted to ask. Sorry, I know you've been talking about a bunch of stuff on here, but did you see Project Veritas's release of somebody inside the DOJ let out some info on what they're classifying as threats again?
Oh, I've not seen this.
Oh, I think it just came out yesterday. It's freak. I can't put a link in the chat, but I think I tried mailing it to your email, but yeah, if you guys in the chat go take a look at it, see what you think. It's not surprising. It is really scary, but it's not surprising. Anyway, all right. Well, everything else that's happening, I love America, but I'm not paying taxes right now, so I'm not worried about the IRS coming in at me with guns. But if I ever move back to the States, it's probably gonna be the first person they look at.
Wow, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. It's nuts.
Did are you guys everything like I see in the media? I'm not there. I don't know what it's like on the ground. Is it really like that? You know, if you're just walking through your neighborhood or whatever.
Like what? What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, you look on you watch the internet and it looks like everybody's going to be at each other's throats. MSNBC had something on the other day. Not that anybody should watch that for anything other than entertainment value, but MSNBC had on the other day that they actually like calling for like a civil war. They're like, you can't reason with these people.
I mean, I don't think that's really anything. I mean, they talk about stuff like, I think like just where I live every day, it's all good. There's no problems. Now, if you're living in some of these crazy woke cities, like if you're living on the West Coast, that's something different. You might have a random homeless guy attack you for no reason, but I'm not sure that happens all the time. But I go to Atlanta all the time. In Atlanta, you have typical crime like car break-ins, but it's not like people are like fighting over political stuff. What's happening is people would fight just gang violence, typical gang violence. Yeah. And if you have a Dodge Charger and you park it in downtown, it's going to get broken into. That's pretty much what's going on. It's not like the media is trying to portray it.
Yeah, I always wonder because my kids, they want to move back to the States, but as soon as you turn on the TV, they're like, oh my God, it's so dangerous. And I'm like, nah, not really. That's why everybody carries guns.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of things you see the concentrated problems on television in little bite-sized segments, but it doesn't represent your everyday living, your 24 hours, 7 days a week. It doesn't represent that because that's not happening all the time. And it's only happening in certain parts of the country.
Yeah. Sorry, I saw somebody in the chat told me to pay my taxes. I don't live in the States. I don't owe anything in the U.S. Anyway. All right, man. It's good seeing you. Great show today. Be good or be good at it. Talk to you later.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Yeah, man. The TV, it make you be totally nervous and paranoid to come outside. There are some problems, though. I'm not going to say there's no problems in the country. There's definitely some problems, but not like the way they're trying to make it be. It's not really that going on. Not at all. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Read some of these comments here. Yeah, I mean, now if you're not in the U.S., they can't extradite you from Japan and make you pay taxes. Like if you come back to the U.S. and you have a tax debt, that's an issue there. But if you're in Japan and you owe U.S. taxes, and you've not paid it, what's going to happen? Nothing really, because they can't extradite you. So it's like, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's not much. You can't really be made to do anything at that point. That's kind of how that goes. 718, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, it's Hallie in Brooklyn. Hi, I had a question about, just going back to a woman serving becoming president. I know historically we had some, women leaders, Elizabeth I, Catherine the Great, and I would incline to think that the difference between them and maybe somebody, maybe in this country, they worked with, they came from traditional societies, and they worked under male authority or acknowledged it in a certain way. Even in the Bible, we had a handful of women leaders like Deborah, she was a judge, Shulamit, she was a queen, but they worked, I don't know, say they supported the patriarchy. I mean, they kind of worked with the male or under male authority in a certain way or acknowledged it. It's not like they hung around other women, like met out in the woods every Thursday type of a thing. I mean, do you foresee that kind of a person possibly running? I prefer a man, I'll just tell you right now. But if push came to shove, it looked like a woman lead. I mean, I'm not going to vote for somebody either just because they're a woman. But I'm just saying, do you foresee? Could you possibly visualize that?
I mean, I think the problem is, like, you could have women as leaders, but we're talking about on a national level as far as the president. I think a lot of the country is not really ready for that. Some parts of the country are ready for that, but some parts of the country are not ready. So I think that overall, you're gonna have a hard time making that be a thing nationally.
Yeah, I would say only obviously if she's conservative. And God help us, these liberal women are just, oh God, it's just crackpots. But it's, I don't know if they were ready for it. And that might be a way off. And I don't know your thoughts about the Minneapolis situation. I heard they're taking it to Supreme Court. Some of the at least some of the teachers do. Do you foresee any success in that?
I think that they might have success there, maybe, because this is obviously clear discrimination based on race, and that's not. I think that should be done. So I think they have a big chance of being able to get that overturned.
I don't know if it's just insulting or stupid. I don't know where these people are coming from. It's like they might win the battle, but they'll lose the war. These people that want to, take over the school system, and never mind the reading levels are abysmal, but by golly, at least we have a representation or something. I don't know. Yeah, I certainly hope to see some kind of outcome there, intervention from the Supreme Court. It'd be interesting to see. It's just getting so damn depressing, that's for sure.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah. Anyway, I love your show, and I guess I'll, just wish you enjoy the rest of the evening here. Watch, be on the sidelines again. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, I think Tulsi Gabbard or somebody, one of these people, one of these women, I mean, you could always attempt to, you could attempt to run, but overall, I don't. Governor, yeah. Mayor, yeah. President, I don't know. It's just like with Pete Buttigieg. It's the same thing, really. Because remember, they were trying to make Pete Buttigieg be a thing, and he won Iowa. Remember that? I'm like, we're not ready for a gay male president. Nah, 2 men in the office. No. We're not ready for that. Not as a nation. That's not really going to work. Now, if he was going to be president of California, that's okay, sure. The president of some other kind of place, some other little small Canada, yeah, sure. Maybe they'd be ready for it in Canada because it's a small place and they like Justin Trudeau already. And you got 1 foot in the, in the pool, you understand, without being too graphic. So why not Pete Buttigieg? But nationally, in the US of A, having him ahead, LGBT male, nah, I think not. Not openly, at least. You got to be kind of on a down low. You understand? 917 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. It's Corinne from NYC.
All righty. What's going on?
How you doing? I just wanted to call in. I heard you talking to a few callers about the whole notion of a woman becoming president, or whether you think your opinion on it, whether you think it's possible. And I have to agree with the caller, the gentleman who called in from, I think, Tokyo, he said.
Yeah.
I have to agree with him. I think that it's really more about the people like yourself that are just thinking that that the country's not ready for that. I think I disagree with that. I believe this country is ready for it, but the media is playing into the notion that they are not. It kind of reminds me the way you were talking just now a second ago when you were saying governor maybe, mayor maybe, but never president. That's how I remember people talking well before '08 in my neighborhood too, like the black dudes on the street and everything, and Spanish Jews on the street. They would always say they will never let a black person be president. It will never happen. This country's not ready for it. That will never happen. They'll let him be like mayor or something. Everyone was talking that way. They were just saying this country will never allow it. But the country was ready for it. The media was playing into that idea. Different shows, different news stories. They wanted to play into that whole the black man is oppressed thing, and they will never let you get to that point. But the country was ready for it. It has to be the right person, as you saw in '08. People were ready for that. I think it's the same thing with a woman president, like the gentleman was saying, called from Tokyo. The media wants to play on this narrative that women are oppressed, and no one will allow that. No one will allow you to get to that. They don't want that. They're not ready for it. But talking to everyday people, men and women, I believe that they are. It's just not broadcasted in the media. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there.
Yeah, I could take that. I mean, I think maybe that's the thing. But I don't know. I think it's like
we don't know.
Yeah, you make a pretty good point. You make a pretty good point about people wanting to still hang on to the whole thing about women being oppressed and it can't happen. But I think
just so desperate to hang on to that victimhood. And that reminds me, I have to say, the way you were talking, it reminds me, it's like a flashback of the dudes on the street before '08, well before, in the 90s, early 2000s, that would say they will never make a black person president. It's just not going to happen. They'll never let him get to that, and that's how they used to talk. And that's what it sounds like when you're talking about how they don't want that. I think people do. And not what the nation wants, truly, genuinely wants, is not being broadcast in the media.
I mean, I see your point, but I still kind of think I still kind of think that I'm right, because even with the black president, you got a black male president. If the Democrat Party was smart, what they would do,
they're not.
No, hold on. But if they were smart and they wanted to win, and it was possible for this to happen, they run Michelle Obama, slam dunk, black woman. Oh, you got it. But I think they know I think they know it's not going to happen. That's why they don't, because they're letting Liz Cheney go out there and talk up. No, you run Michelle Obama, she will have a great chance of being able to win. But they know it's not going to happen. Not right now, especially. Maybe later, when you don't have what's happening right now in the country. Maybe when the country's doing fantastic and they don't really care who they put in there. They vote for Michelle Obama, but not right now when things are going bad. They're not going to vote another Democrat in there. They're going to go Republican regardless. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, we shall see, right? We shall see.
Absolutely.
But great show. Great show. Always good to hear you, ABL. All right. I'm going to let you continue. Let some other people get their thoughts out there.
All right. Thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night.
So that was a controversial comment about women being president. I seriously, they would, if they knew or if they thought that it would work, they run Michelle Obama. They're not going to do that because they know she would lose. That's the problem. A black woman, that should be a slam dunk. Nah, we're not quite that woke yet as a country. That's what I'm trying to say. For a black male, yeah, sure. But maybe not anymore because of Obama messed it up for everybody, but that's a different story. 203 on the line. Who wants to speak to?
Hey, ABL, my bro.
Yes, indeed. What's happening?
Nothing much, man. It's Angel. How you been, man?
Oh, it's been all good, man. How about yourself?
Not bad. Another day's hard work. Doing some roofing in the hot sun.
No doubt.
So, listen, did you hear about, I think I was talking to you about how they had the video cameras. I was almost sure that I know that Trump had video cameras all throughout there. And now I guess Eric Trump is threatening to leak some videos from the FBI going through, his father's estate.
Hey, well, if he does it, I say more power to him. We should go ahead and just do it.
Yeah, but well, maybe that's why they're trying to back off from unsealing the affidavits.
Well, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Why?
Well, because in the affidavits, it'll show all the records, or at least like the pecking orders of what they did, who was involved, what they took. And so they're like, oh, shoot, we can't have that out because if he releases his video, then it's in conjunction with the affidavits that we would have to unseal.
Oh, okay. Well, that could be it. But I think it's just a lot of games being played because the whole thing was not needed, unnecessary. It was all political, and they probably don't want to get into the details of it because it would just show how unnecessary it was. They could have done a subpoena. They could have done anything other than what they did.
Right. Then it would also implicate, like, for the affidavits, you'd have to leave out, or I mean, not leave out, but like put in names as to who were the FBI that were, rating it. Because there was like 400 people. I think there was like roughly about 38, 40 people in the estate, but then they had an additional 400 come and ransack the whole place.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen, I was catching the last bit of your stuff, and come on, man, Big Mike can't go up in there.
I'm telling you, like she'd be like Oprah. She could do a lot of damage, but I think they know that a woman is not going to really be able to take it, not on a national level.
Right. Maybe they try to do a switcheroo and go with Kathleen Kamala's the Ugandan terrorist with Big Mike.
Hey, they might try to.
Yeah, who knows, man. Listen, I watched the video earlier today, man. I loved it, where you were showing the training video of the IRS.
Oh, yeah.
I was dying, bro. I was like, there's another video, too, of them. So apparently that was the graduation. The video that you showed was the graduation. I was like, oh, my God. The finger, bro. What are you doing? You're going to break off your thumb. But there was another one where they were in the training. I was like, oh, my God. These people, they don't even know what they're doing. It's like diversity hires for the IRS. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Well, anyways, brother, I'm loving your show, man. Keep up with the gray beard, man. It's looking good. The more is coming in, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right. God bless, bro.
All right, now.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 619 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. This is Fat Lando from San Diego. How are you doing?
I'm well. Can't complain about yourself.
Awesome. Hey, I got a quick question for you. Did you do a remix on your intro music? Because I hear more guitar in it now.
Yes, I did. One of you guys sent me some remixes for the intro. So, yeah, you're hearing a different version of the intro.
Aha! So that's way cool. Yeah, I'm a guitar player, and when I heard it today, I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds a little edgier and harder. So I really enjoy it.
I love you, ABL. I'm his wife. We called before. I just love you. I just like for you to smile.
well, thank y'all. Love y'all too.
All right, ABL. Have a good show.
All right, now.
All right, bye.
Hey, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Make me feel real good when you got people that, they watch together. I like that a lot. Shout out to y'all. 773 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, how you doing? It's your Chicago police officer friend.
All righty. What's happening?
I wanted to talk about the monkeypox, but before that, because the topic was with the female president. I don't like to be misogynistic or chauvinistic, but the bigger question is not how the rest of the United States views a female president. It's how the rest of the world views a female president in the United States. Because just like I said, the weakness of Joe Biden, and it's unfortunate that Joe Biden was so weak by, running with his tail between his legs from Afghanistan and, the border problem and everything else. Once the rest of the world and the people that want to do us harm, whether it's criminals in your city or whether it's the Taliban, once they, even perceive weakness, they do things that they would not otherwise do if they perceived strength. And so that really needs to be, considered when, electing a female president or anybody that's weak. As a matter of fact, probably a female president would be 10 times stronger than Joe Biden, that's for sure. So anyway, I wanted to say about the monkeypox. Let me give people a small little history of AIDS, especially those who are not old enough to remember. AIDS came through the homosexual community, much like this monkeypox is, by their, practices in their sexuality. And then, it was popping up other places that could be suspect. People that were saying they were heterosexual were getting the AIDS virus. And it wound up that they were, junkies and things like that, drug abusers. But what happened was there was a kid, 13 years old, named Ryan White. That might mean something to you, ABL. It may not mean something to someone who's a lot younger. But Ryan White was a 13-year-old virgin. He was a 13-year-old hemophiliac who contracted AIDS. And once they said, hey, how did this little 13-year-old kid get AIDS? The fact that he was a hemophiliac, they went and looked and realized that it was in the blood supply. After that, then they started screening and everything else. A lot of people had gotten the AIDS virus through the blood supply, getting, transfusions and operations and things like that. There was even a New York mobster that got AIDS because he got an operation and then he contracted AIDS like that. So, I prefaced it by saying that because I wanted to ask you this. Now, you and I both probably know that those kids that got the monkeypox may have been molested. The dog, there's bestiality. The dog might have even been molested or whatever you want to call it in bestiality. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt for 1 second. Because in that list that you gave, which were all sexual diseases, I read it that the last two said do not share towels, toothbrush, things like that. Here's the thing. I sure don't want to go to my local, gym and the guy's got monkeypox and he wipes down the bench press because our skin absorbs like a sponge. And here's the thing about the dog. people's family dogs lick your legs, lick your hands, lick your arms, and the dog may have licked those sores. It makes me wonder. It just goes to prove, and by just what the CDC said about the vaccine, and not the vaccine, but the whole pandemic, or pandemic, whichever you want to look at it. But they even said and admitted that they didn't know. And here's the thing: they don't know about this monkeypox. So it makes me start to wonder: is it going the way the AIDS virus was going? That all human beings are susceptible, and even less to a less degree. However, possible to get it even if you're not having homosexual sex, through using towels, through, uncleanliness, when people sweat in their sweat glands. It makes me wonder, ABL. It really does. And I'd like to get your opinion on that, because I kind of agree with you that it's, pretty much confined to the homosexual community. But is this thing being unleashed like AIDS was to the more populist community? And then I'll hang up and listen for my answer. Always a great show. Always happy to participate, ABL. And I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. That was a really good question. So is it being unleashed in the LGBT male community and then unleashed to all of us through other means that aren't necessarily the way that they would catch it among their community? I think possibly so. Possibly so. I'm not sure if it's being done on purpose, but that's what's going to end up happening, because it has the same thing as HIV was. HIV at one point, when it first happened, when it first came out, like in the 80s, it was just gay men. That's all it was. And it's still like that to this day. Like 85% gay men have it, or 85% of people that have HIV AIDS are gay men. That's just what it is right now by the numbers. I'm not saying anything other than what the facts are. But at one point it was like 95, 100%. But then you start to have people that IV drug users, people that got the blood transfusions early on, people that, some of the women that have sex with the men that are on the down low or whatever it is. That's kind of how that happened. And the same thing with monkeypox. Okay, you go into McDonald's, monkeypox. You saw that one guy talking about he was on TikTok or somewhere talking about, people are going to leave you behind because you have monkeypox, and I had to go to McDonald's and get something to eat. He was actively monkeypox. It's like, sir, you need to stay at the crib, get your food delivered. But anyway, it's happening among them, and then it's going to spread to the general population. Not in the extreme numbers that it's happening right now among their population, because the way they're getting it is the primary route of transmission. But you can get it from other ways. You can get it from sharing towels and stuff like that. Now, you're probably not going to be sharing a toothbrush or a towel with somebody unless you are having intimate relations with them. I'm not even sure why I would do that. I never even shared a towel or a toothbrush with nobody. You're not using my toothbrush. It's like, no, get your own toothbrush. But yeah, it can spread that way to people that aren't part of the community. But I'm not sure if it's being done on purpose or not. But it could be. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't put anything past these people at all. Not in the least bit. All right. So let's go to the next one here. 372, you know how I'm speaking to you. You're not using my toothbrush. It's like, no.
Anthony, hello. How you doing? It's Paul from China.
All righty, man. What's happening?
Yeah. It's been a while. I haven't chatted with you in a long time. Don't really have a question for you, just some comments, and then of course, you can give me your perspective on my comments. China is not going to invade Taiwan. I've been here for about 7 years now, and since I've been here, there's been some angst against Taiwan, and I guess you say some talk about he's talked the president he's talked publicly about what he calls peaceful reunification, and that if Taiwan tries to break away. You know, the military's coming in. I mean, he said that publicly in several speeches. I've heard him say that. You know, but this visit by Speaker Pelosi, that was like the ultimate middle finger. That was the ultimate middle finger to him. You know, I mean, straight up, she came in and she met with the President Tsai, I believe her name is, the Taiwanese leader. And what did he do? He didn't do anything. He just flared up. He has a track record of flaring up, and he just flared up. I guess a major export of Taiwan to the mainland is fish. And so he banned some fish imports, and he banned some other imports. And of course, you know, people have heard about the planes circling the island and military drills. And he flared up again. He is a major flare up, but ultimately just a flare up. He didn't do anything. And one thing I'll say about President Putin is that he has heart. You know, like he moved his troops to the Ukraine border, and it wasn't a idle threat. You know, he moved in and did what he said he was going to do. This guy Xi, man, he's ever since I've been here, he annually, at least once a year, there's a speech where he's talking about peaceful reunification, and if they break away, we coming in, blah, blah, blah. And to make my point, man, is that up until this point, I took him seriously because, you know, he carries himself in a very strong, respectable way, you know. But after Pelosi's visit, man, I'm like, come on, man, if you're not going to move in behind that, which is like the ultimate middle finger, if you're not coming in behind that, you ain't coming in. Just shut up about it.
Yeah, that pretty much makes sense. You know, it's a lot of bluster, a lot of posturing, but ultimately nothing comes of it.
Yeah, it's not happening, you know, and he's up for, I guess you might call re-election. I mean, he's pretty much a dictator in every sense of the word, except on paper. You know, on paper he's president, and the party, the people here, the citizens here don't vote. The party votes for their new leader, and so the party elects the president. But off paper, he's really a dictator. But you know, he's not as popular as he has been, and there's some talks about, you know, his re-election or his re-dictatorship or whatever you want to call it might fail. And there's even some more talks about, you know, the CCP having some cracks. You know, the CCP is, they reign supreme here. You know, they control everything. And so up until this point, I never even entertained the idea of them actually being overthrown. But there's been protests in different parts of the country about different things. A lot of people here are unhappy with the real estate bubble and bank fraud and other stuff going on. And, you know, and China has a history of rebellions. I mean, you know, they overthrew the Qing dynasty, Sun Yat-sen, the doctor, the first prime minister. They overthrew the Qing dynasty, and other dynasties have been overthrown. So it's not like they haven't done it before, you know. And with his growing unpopularity among the people here about economic issues and things like that, and also his basically just getting punked by the states and not doing anything about it, but just flaring up. I'm starting to question, you know, is the CCP as cemented as I thought they were? Do they have the longevity to move on to the future? Are they going to be overthrown?
Well, I mean, that's a really good question. That's a deep question too. I mean, it's possible that it could happen, but do you think that maybe they're so deeply rooted that it's not going to happen anytime soon, at least?
Not anytime soon, no. And even now, it's still hard for me to see it because, I mean, they control the country. They got the whole country on lockdown. You know, so it would seem like it would be difficult unless there was like I don't know. I can't. I'm not a connoisseur of Chinese politics, and I can't articulate how it would happen. All I can say is that it's happened before. You know, because the Qing dynasty, the last dynasty, I'm not an expert on the Qing dynasty, of course, you know, but my understanding is that they had the country on lockdown, you know, like an emperor, like an imperial family does. And Sun Yat-sen, the doctor that became the rebel leader, he overthrew the Qing and pushed them out. And dynasties in the past have been pushed out because of a swell of the people rising up. So it could happen again. I don't see it happening anytime soon, but it's some cracks. You know, there's some cracks in the CCP. You know, the dictator Xi is not as popular as he has been. It's been open protests in Hunan province and other provinces. People still upset about COVID. And, you know, Shanghai's been on lockdown. Beijing's been on lockdown. It's an area in Hainan Island right now, Sanya. People went there for the beach. They locked it down because of a couple cases. People are unhappy about being stuck in their apartments for 3 months straight. You know, it's some unhappiness going on, and that on top of Pelosi and Prime Minister Tsai Ing-wen. I think it's Tsai Ing-wen. I can't pronounce her name, but the Chinese lady that's the leader of Taiwan. Them together giving him a straight middle finger. It's just like, whoa, man, you know, is the clock ticking?
Right. Well, good question. Really good question. We'll see.
Yeah. That's all I have, man. I'm not going to hold you, let you go and you can take some more calls. But yeah, man, that's just how I feel. The Taiwan invasion did all that talk in his speeches and talk about that in news organizations around the world. And the whole world talks about it. Just shut up about it, everybody. It's not going to happen. If he didn't move in behind Pelosi's visit, and all he's going to do behind that is flare up, then going forward, it's just going to be more flare ups. You know, troops on the ground, taking the island like Putin is doing with Ukraine. It's not going to happen. I'll let you go behind that, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that was a good call. That's why, man, he's over in China right now. So he's just giving his perspective about what's happening with the whole situation. Open protests against dictator Xi. Very interesting. All right, but that will be a wrap for this show. Thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. Wow, that was a lot. Them 3 hours just came and went, didn't they? I mean, I felt like I was just here 8 o'clock. Now all of a sudden it's 11 o'clock. It's crazy, but I got to wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. Thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best. You know it. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls and the weird stuff in check. I appreciate you guys as always. I'll be back here live again on Saturday. And of course, next Friday, August 26th, I'll be in Dallas, Texas. So if you guys want to come out to take a picture, shake hands with me and who else we got? We got Brandon Tatum. We got Vardy Bartram. We got Justin Lee Peterson. We got Larry Elder. We got Ben Carson. We got everybody for the premiere of Uncle Tom Part 2 at Angelica Theater, Dallas, Texas, Saturday, August 26th at 7:30 p.m. their time. So check us on out. I will be there. I'll be in the building. Run up on me. You be able to find me. I promise you'll be able to find me. You know, I'm like a sore thumb. You know, I try to be low key. I can't. I'm tall. I got this beard going on now. You be able to find me. So run up on me, get a picture, shake my hand, just talk to me. I'll be there. And also just enjoy the film. I've seen it already. Uncle Tom Part 2 is really good. If you've not seen Part 1 yet, go ahead and do that. Go to the YouTube page, go to the website, uncletom.com, check it out right there for free. And then pre-order Uncle Tom Part 2. Use promo code ABL to get 30% off. All right. But I got a few more super chats right here. And then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thank you to your name here who says, good evening, ABL. There was a lot of fraud with PPP loans and unemployment checks when the pandemic hit. I'm thinking the IRS agents are likely for that. You thinking with your brain. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. But that's a really good, I'm not trying to be funny. That was a very good observation because those PPP loans, I saw a lot of people get hemmed up with that. And you know, I'm hearing just normies talking about, I'm gonna do the PPP loan. It's like, for what, sir? What do you have as far as any kind of business or employees or whatnot? I heard a lot of that from just normies in the street randomly. Okay, so they may be for that, trying to recover that PPP money. Thank you to Handmade who says, Moment of Truth event, August 20th through the 21st on Frank's speech. Thank you to Baby Doll for the laughing emoji. Thank you to Lou Maldonado who says, sir, thanks for free speech. Thank you to Boat versus Windshield who says, I wonder if those agents who raided Trump's house had their Florida fishing licenses. Write them all tickets for that fishing trip. Thank you to Anna. That was a good one. Thank you to Anna Banana for the Haya emoji. Thank you to M. Fisher for the heart emoji. Thank you to Boat versus Windshield who says, Miss Piggy's ego thinks she can win the presidency. She's nuts. She needs to grab Brandon and both go to a psych ward quick while Jill is sick. Thank you to Tam for being a ABL superstar member. Thank you for that. Thank you to Bot K MIT who says, you should move back home, sir. Top water where you belong. You know, I love Virginia. I like to go visit, but I had to go just somewhere else. You know, and really, I have a lot of different homes. West Virginia, that's one of my homes. Tidewater, and now basically Atlanta. You know, I'm a little bit of everywhere, but I do like visiting back in Virginia, Tidewater. Boat versus Windshield says, do you think these sanctions against Russia are doing any good at all? I heard Putin is richer than ever now. Winter is going to be very cold. That's a really good observation. I don't think those sanctions are really preventing him from doing what he needs to do. Not at all. I think Russia is still Russia, and they're not going to, because they have too many natural resources and they have a competent government. So what can you really do? Nothing against them. The sanctions, they're still going to export their oil. It's, like you said, it's going to get real cold in the winter, and these European nations, Germany, Poland, they're going to need that Russian fuel. Believe that. Bob versus Windshield says, why don't we call it alphabet soup pox? He also says, China has a very serious housing economy problem. Millions are defaulting on loans for high-rise condos. Uh-oh, the condos are not being built, so why pay? Well, there we have it. That's going to be an issue. We'll see how that plays out. But I think that will be a wrap. Again, you guys are the best. I look forward to next time, which would be this Saturday, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right around 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.